My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down the entire UFC Nashville fight card, giving you our picks, predictions, bets, and DraftKings Fantasy Plays. What's this? What are you doing? What's that?
You came in pretty hot.
I'm excited. I'm on vacation. I'm in the country. I'm in Idaho doing country cowboy shit. So yeah, I'm coming in hot. I lassoed some steer.
It's not the country.
A bear. And I ran down the voicemails. Here's an update for the community. We now have a voicemail box. The number is 1-866-WE-WANT-PICKS. You can call that box. You can leave a number or your name. You can leave some information. You can give us some tips, your opinion, your thoughts. And we already have a whole slew of messages. Here's a quick teaser of some of the messages we've gotten over the last week or so.
Angelo, you're fat and Jacob's biased.
Just to let you know, Angelo, you are not fat. So fuck those guys. And you are awesome. So keep up the hard work. I am a member of We Want Picks. Been watching you for a long time.
Tiffany.
You have a blissful day. And say hello to Jakey. I'll blow him a kiss from the TV, okay?
Oh.
Bye.
Angelo, it's your mother.
This is an odd one.
I was looking in the fridge to get some meatballs out for your meatball. She wanted some spaghetti and meatballs tonight, but it seems like we're out of the meat.
Okay, well, listen, we're done here. Listen, if you want to call and leave a message, the number is 866-WE-WANT-PICKS. Very catchy, very easy. That translates to 866-939-2687. I don't quite know exactly what we are going to do with that content, but for now, we put out our very first sort of montage or this week on type video. So if you want to call, give us a call. We do have a super chat here from Jafaraza. Jacob, make Ange drink Aljo's rum. Oh, we did that. I drank the shit out of that rum. Every time Jacob said cereal gone. Thank you for the super chat. And I will be drinking Modelo's. Okay, this isn't exactly Mexican country. There's not a lot of Mexicans this far north. But you wear the cowboy hat, you have some Modelo's after a good hard day on the ranch.
Oh, you're a ranch hand now, huh?
Yeah, ranch. Yeah, exactly. I'm in the barn. This is the barn. Look, fireplace.
Yeah, it looks like a barn, Angelo. Jesus Christ. I mean, what kind of white privilege have you had in your life that you think that's a fucking barn? Holy shit.
I was raised with I know what a barn looks like. $2 super chat from Quint. Head too big for that hat. The funny part is, Quint, I actually have an abnormally small head for somebody with this large of a frame. But thank you for the super chat. LOL Skills says, no more bad takes. No, we are still doing bad takes. The problem is on this channel, they weren't getting great views. Like we would get 3,000 views, 2,500 views, and all the other videos are doing 10 to 25, 30,000 views. So we're doing some here, some on Josh's channel, some we're slicing and dicing. They do still exist. Just check the community page.
The kid got fired. Just tell him. He wasn't cutting it, and he got fucking dumped.
We fired Josh. Josh has been let go.
Is that his name?
Josh. Yeah, Joshua. Actually, the government name. Joshua. Yep. Guys, Jacob and I will be at Noche UFC. This is in San Antonio. And
you and Crazy Kev, baby. Crazy Kev.
You think he'll let me take a picture with my elbow on his head?
I think he would knock you the fuck out, Angelo.
Like the movie Twins with Danny DeVito. And
he would knock you the fuck out. Clean out. It wouldn't even be close. Have you seen the kicks he posted the other day?
Yeah, I'm good.
That kid will fuck you up.
I'm good. All right, well, we'll be at Noche. Come say hi. We will be there. We're trying to figure out if we'll do like, hey, meet us at this place at this time. We'll get drinks.
Haven't you tried to tell us before that you like rarely drink, and now it's like you're just getting slammed every stream?
Well, I'm on vacation, and I don't ever remember saying
How many vacations can you take? Was this approved PTO?
Well, the UFC 2 weeks ago was work, and I didn't even watch the fights. We flew there and flew back, and this is actual vacation in Idaho. Let's relax. It's Idaho. Was that clear? Idaho.
Was that your email?
It was.
Jesus, I thought that was mine. I was like, I don't have my email open, and then I'm like, what the hell is going on?
We're gonna turn out do not. Well, usually I have the headphones, but technology's not working today. $1.99 from Jaffa Raza. Which tickets are the best for UFC events? Jacob did a whole ass deep dive today of the tickets that are best for each arena, but typically speaking, not the floor, and right when it curves up, right there, so you can just bang, see the cage. Do you agree, Jacob?
I think front row. I mean, typically I said front row of the Apex, so I mean those are pretty good.
Yeah. So halfway up the bowl is perfect. We did have a pretty successful UFC 317. The messages came flooding in, all the success people were having. This was a message or a tweet from Liddell. He said, another boxing and UFC winning night. Thank you. We want picks. Thank you, Jacob. The UFC tips in the Discord as well. He spent $50 on a parlay. That brought back $1,200. And the Discord's an underrated shout out because it's not just me and Jacob. We also have Artem. We have Betsam. We have artificial intelligence. But our actual community, the premium members in the WWP Lounge, are sharper than most. And the information everybody shares in that Discord is pretty valuable.
Why is that hat so small?
It's a child's hat.
The fuck it is. That's a grown man hat. Still looking teeny tiny. Why are you wearing it like that?
This is how you wear it.
That's not how you wear it. There you go. You got to tilt it down.
Or how you wear it. It's like this.
Yeah, you had it like back on your head.
I've been talking. I move. I'm very
Say,
in it.
there's a snake in my boots.
Hey. Oh, I also do the Big X, the plug A now. I do that. Hey.
I'm sorry,
really,
guys. Guys,
I'm really evolving as a person.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys.
Well, a big A for Stretch, who turned a $5 parlay into $1,000, and he shouted out the tools. Premium Tools did it again, allowed me to build this 14-leg parlay. $5 won 1,000. Congratulations to Stretch. And I love that he shouted out the tools because everybody wants to focus on the bets and the picks, which are amazing. But the tools teach a man to fish. And up here in Bible country, we care about teaching to fish. $4.99 from Jeffrey Plitas. We appreciate you, Jeff. There's no comment. Throw a comment up here. We'll go ahead and pin it, and we'll get at you. Guys, if you want to be like Liddell and be like Stretch, you want to unlock all the tools, all the picks, all the bets, and everything else that we do, they're available on the website right now, this second, not only for UFC Nashville.
You got a friend in me.
That's the Toy Story song. And in the
future, you got a friend in me.
We have events built out as well. If you want to start doing UFC 318 research now, you can. One of our tools is the Fight Simulator. I've mentioned this 1,000 times. It simulates fights 100,000 times, and it just got an upgrade this past weekend. It now will build FanDuel fantasy lineups for you. So it could always do DraftKings fantasy lineups. It was giving you strikes and takedowns and prize picks and underdog. And now it will build FanDuel fantasy lineups for you. Brand new addition for people who live in states like Washington, where I don't think DraftKings fantasy is legal, but FanDuel.
Did you tell people that the safety parlay lost last week?
No, it won. Why would I tell them it lost?
Well, it lost last week.
Oh, on the week off, you're saying it lost.
Yeah, because you said the safety parlay was Joey Chestnut, who obviously dominated.
Yes.
And then you were very chest out, confident that you were going to eat a fucking Big Mac in under a minute. And honestly, the more I review, because I've watched that a few times.
I could have done it.
I honestly think that you failed on purpose to be like, oh, I'm not a glutton, guys. I'm just a normal guy. You think I'm a fat guy, but look, I eat a burger. It's like you're trying to just like this whole spiel right now. Like, oh, I'm a man of the people. Look, I'm drinking Modelo's. Hey, my Mexican friends, I'm drinking Modelo's. I'm a man of the people. I got a cowboy hat. I'm on the ranch. I'm not a white collar Italian, blah, blah. And nobody's falling for it.
Well, a couple things. One, if you guys are curious what he's talking about, I tried to eat a Big Mac in under a minute. It's a challenge that was floating around online. I thought that was going to be the easiest thing in the world. I literally was like,
first of all, just stop right there for a second, because this is actually, I need to ask you this. This is actually, and you'll see it relates in a way. But can I ask you a question real quick?
I'd love if you did.
Let's say, hypothetically, and this is actually could be like a realistic scenario as well.
Okay.
That you get into a Horrific car accident.
Bad one. Got it.
Horrific. I mean, you're a bad driver. Very
Reached for the
plausible.
fries,
I'm talking about
Yeah.
you lose your arm, you're losing a leg, you're paraplegic, quadriplegic, you're in the hospital. It's bad, right? Obviously, Tiffany leaves you. She's gone. She's out of there. She's not dealing with that bullshit. The kid, I mean, it's been months and months. The kids have stopped visiting. They don't want to see you like that. You're drooling, all this stuff.
Yeah.
You finally get home. You got a caretaker. The caretaker is kind of abusing you a little bit because obviously with your bad attitude, they get tired of your bullshit. So you've really been kind of feeling down. It's been years and years. I'm talking 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You haven't really talked to another person in your life at all. And you're just looking for just kind of a little spike of dopamine, just a little spike of happiness in your life. Can I ask you what you would turn to?
My eyes work. Do I have
the answer is Burger King. And we want to thank our sponsor today, Burger King, for their incredible Whoppers, right? Are you hungry for a juicy hamburger? How about a Whopper? You know, the one with plump ripe tomatoes, real egg mayonnaise, crispy pickles, and that juicy flame-broiled taste. The Whopper. You gotta love it. We appreciate Burger King for sponsoring this stream here today. That would give you agree now that you've heard the story. That would give you that
100%.
So,
dude, 100%. But dude, a Whopper, and this isn't because they're a sponsor. A Whopper is the best fast food burger out. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. The best fast food burger out there. That's and we live in Whataburger country. Whataburger's good.
Whataburger is fucking shit. And I guarantee that fucking Big Mac you ate was fucking terrible too. Am I right? You did it just for the challenge, but you thought it was disgusting.
I'm going to be honest with you. You were in the group chat. I was like, dude, this is a joke. I think I do it in under a minute, not even just right. That's just how I eat. And then I did say, no chance I could do that with a Whopper. There's no way. A Whopper's actually big. A Big Mac's small. Guys, the optimizer has been updated as well to also build FanDuel fantasy lineups. All that money you've seen pouring in with people building winning DraftKings fantasy lineups on our optimizer, you can now do that with FanDuel fantasy lineups. You can check that out at wewantpicks.com. You'll also have other tools like the tape index. This will give you immediate bingo bongo organization. So instead of digging through the depths of hell that is UFC Fight Pass, you can just get a full-blown list of every fighter on this card and future cards, see their full fight history, click on a little red play button, boom, that video pops up. You can watch that video. Check out the tape index, the optimizer. Check out the, what the hell is it called? Fight Simulator and all the other tools, every pick, every bet, everything we offer right now. It's $10 a month. WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. Here's the 4 events that you're going to get. You're going to get UFC Nashville. You're going to get UFC 318. Then we have UFC Abu Dhabi. And then we have the fight night with Amir Albazi and Tatsuro Taira. Spectacular lineup to unlock all the tools, all the picks. WeWantPicks.com. Oh, are you ready to break down this card? Oh, wait. A couple super chats. $2 from Quint. Head too big for that hat. You know what?
Happy birthday, Quint.
$2 from Jaffa Raza. Can I do my summer internship at We Want Picks? The problem is I'm at the ranch. I don't know when we'll be back. So, I don't think we need another ranch hand. I've got things pretty.
Can you name all the animals within a 500-yard radius of where you're at right now? Because I assume there's a lot of them.
We're right outside Yellowstone. You know how many ridiculous animals are here? All of them. Elk.
What's outside the barn in a little fenced-in area? I assume there's cows.
Well, there was a wolf. There was a wolf the other day. My Sabrina, my stepmom.
A wolf.
My stepmom was walking a little baby dog and saw a wolf and took a picture.
A wolf.
A couple of hummingbirds. There's a big.
Sure wasn't like a fox, Angelo.
Oh, it's a wolf. It's a wolf. Here, you want me to pull up the picture? It's a wolf.
Does she call it a wolf?
She said, it wouldn't fit. She don't speak English too good. You know what I mean? Her English ain't what it used to be. I can't find this right now.
Yeah.
Listen, elk, bison. I've been calling them buffalo. People keep correcting me, but I'm new to the ranch. So bison, all the things. I haven't eaten one yet. Every restaurant we go to, I'm like, you have elk or
Rocky
bison?
Mountain oysters?
If they're on a menu, I'll eat them. I'll try it.
I fucking bet you would.
You have them raw? I'll take them raw. Do you have it attached to the vessel? I'll take the whole thing. If you guys don't know what Rocky Mountain oysters are, they're bull nuts. They just cut the nuts right off the bull.
You can just say testicles.
They're nuts.
You got to church it up, dirt.
All right, let's go ahead and break down this card. Opening up the UFC Nashville fight card, we have Fatima Kline taking on Melissa Martinez. Fatima Kline, a wild favorite going into this fight. She is 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off her first ever UFC win, taking on Melissa Martinez, 4-1 in her last 5. She is also coming off of a first UFC win. Fatima Kline, pure pressure grappler. She is dangerous on the ground. She's going to come forward. She's got that long, lanky, striking style, a little lurchy. She'll get after on the feet. She looks to get fights to the ground, and on the ground, she's got aggressive jiu-jitsu. She's long. She's skinny. She uses that really, really well. She's got good enough cardio, and the takedown's pretty solid when she can sort of stick to that game plan. There are times where she'll just hang out on the feet. She's coming off that win over Victoria Dudekova, taking on Melissa Martinez. Melissa Martinez, powerful, especially for her size. She can knock a good amount of people out. She is an active striker. She's got good footwork. Takedown defense is pretty good. She's got good trips and uchimatas if she wants to take you down or get you to the cage and go from there. While she does get some takedowns, she can offer some stuff off the top. Good submission defense. She's not really going nuts if she's on her back, though. She's not going to be throwing triangles, doing anything like that. She's coming off that win over Alice Ardeline, where she ran backwards most of the fight. She almost finished Alice with a nasty body shot, but ultimately ended up being a decision. This is an easy breakdown for me. I think Fatima Kline wins this fight because I think she gets the takedowns, and I think she's just the better grappler. I think it's that simple, but minus $1,400 on a lady fight is absolutely insane, not spending that money. What do you think, Jacob?
It's not insane, and I'm a big Melissa Martinez fan. I was at that last fight versus what's her name, and was very hyped for that win. I was very high on her going into that fight. She absolutely dominated that fight. Was robbed of that finish that Angelo mentioned. I was able to talk to her parents a little bit after the fight because it's at the Apex, and they just people come and they go. And I was able to talk to her parents and congratulate them. Great family, great people. Obviously, her brother is in the UFC as well. She is going to beat a.
People are commenting about the size of my hat. That's what I'm laughing at.
Can you say it?
Howdy.
There's a snake in my boot.
Hey, there's a snake in my boot. Hey.
So I was able to talk to her parents, and they were great people, great family. I love Melissa. I love what she brings into the UFC. She's going to beat a lot of people. Still young, still improving, but what she needs to improve on the most is that ground game. You saw that, I know it was a few years ago, but against Elise Reed, she's getting taken down and controlled a little bit by Elise Reed. Fatima Kline is literally... she's probably one of, if not the best grapplers in this division. And people don't know that yet. And I can't believe that her inside the distance is still plus money in this fight. I respect the toughness of Melissa. And she's probably not just going to mount her and TKO her. But Melissa, being a tough girl, not going to accept positions. A lot of times you see people get finishes. It's the good grapplers that can't get finishes when people just kind of shell up. Angelo, as well as anybody, right? When somebody is on top of you and you don't want to get submitted, I see it all the time when you're in your gym. You just shell up into a little ball, turtle, and people can't submit you and be like, oh, I didn't get submitted, and that's how Angelo thinks he's a good grappler. Melissa is not going to be that. She is going to try to work back to her feet because that's where she has the advantage. It's when you work back to your feet is when you give the opportunities to high-level grapplers like Fatima, and I think she's probably going to find a submission maybe early, maybe in the second round, maybe in the third round. It's just a bad matchup for Melissa. If she comes in and gets smoked in the grappling, it is what it is. I think that Victoria Dudekova, even though she's not anywhere near Fatima, would do the same thing to Melissa. I just think Melissa just has those holes in her grappling game. It's probably improving. She might be able to withstand a little bit, but Fatima is just so good, so slick with those transitions, and she's not afraid to go for that TKO, too, to open up those submissions. So, obviously, I'm all over Kline here, but I'm still rooting for Melissa, and I like Melissa, and she'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, Melissa and her brothers, she's the brother of what's his name, right? He's like a doctor. Isn't he a doctor? Isn't her brother a doctor?
How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Isn't he also in the UFC? Am I losing my mind?
Yeah, that's not what I just said, Angelo.
Oh, I was too busy. I just keep looking at myself in the camera. It's unbelievable. The fact that I can pull this off being where I'm from is absolutely incredible. Listen, we're on the same page here. Both think Fatima wins $9,900. We're getting in the only reason she's not 10,000 is because they don't have enough digits in the DraftKings fantasy pricing module of the app to make it 10,000. They gave her as much money as they possibly will. They only do the round numbers there. I do think Fatima Kline.
You know what I had a vision of about this fight, and I hope it doesn't come true because it's really gonna piss me the fuck off. Is Fatima comes in, the length and the movement of Melissa, because she's a high level taekwondo. She kind of fucks around in the striking, right? Gets a late takedown with a minute to go. Almost finds a submission, but doesn't quite get it. So then you're all excited watching the second round. Like, here we go. Here comes that second round submission bet that we're probably going to play on the live stream. And then she doesn't shoot a single takedown in the second round. Then you're like, oh my God, is she going to lose this fight? And then she gets a takedown early to start the third round and just fucking lays on her for a decision win. That's really going to piss me the fuck off.
Didn't that just happen last week? Who was your second round submission win? Or what was it last week? Was it Tracy? It was somebody that was like so close and they bailed on it.
Oh, Tracy almost had I said third round finish, and she,
yeah.
I mean, she didn't really bail on it. She just
was
couldn't.
trying, yeah. Well, listen, Jacob and I are aligned here. And if you want to be aligned with the best picks, bets, and tools in this space, it's only $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. I'll give you that cowboy guarantee that you can smack a bull. You can put your head up a bull's ass for a guarantee, or you can slap an ass. How does that go?
You can stick your head up a bull's ass to look at the meat, but wouldn't you take the butcher's word for it?
Yes. Howdy. Couple of super Chatterooskies. 279 Canadian from Billy. Step foot in Baltimore. You'll be a campfire store. Listen, Billy, William. I don't know you well enough to call you Billy. I've been to Baltimore. I went to Preakness. I went to Preakness several times with the boys, and we would go there, and we would go inside. We would drink our asses off. We'd go to the power plant. We would drink that, and then we would walk there. We'd try to walk back to our hotel. We'd try to turn up a couple streets, and the cops are like, couple of white boys like you're not going up this street. You walk all the way to the light, and you turn there. So I know where not to go in Baltimore. Baltimore is sketchy as fuck. You've been to Baltimore?
You got pressed, and you backed down.
I'm just, hey, keep it. If I'm not anything but my authentic self 100% of the time, what the fuck am I? You know what I mean?
I'm welcome in any hood. I was walking through Atlanta, went to the Waffle House downtown Atlanta. Everyone was giving me a what's up.
At noon on a Wednesday.
It was like 1:30 on a Saturday.
PM. Beach! Next up at UFC Nashville, we have Mike Davis taking on Mitch Ramirez. Mike Davis coming off one of the most atrocious performances we have ever seen, but he's still a touted prospect, which is why the odds are what they are. He is 4-1 in his last 5, and I mentioned that last fight, that loss, worst performance of his career. Taking on Mitch Ramirez, 3-2 in his last 5. He is looking for his first UFC win. This does feel like a matchup made to give Mike Davis the win that they're trying to give him, right? Mike is an exciting guy. He's a somewhat marketable guy. He's a fun guy. He's beaten some solid prospects himself. So when he went out there and was pulling guard and butt scooting, it didn't quite align to what we know about Mike Davis. So I'm going to throw that out the window. I'm going to assume that was anomaly because of the paint fumes and whatever the hell else. So we're going to break this down.
Did you hear about the hotel situation as well?
What was the hotel situation?
I guess he fucking got all the way over there and then didn't even have a hotel. He had to go find a hotel or something on top of everything. So
well, I didn't know that. And that last fight was it had to be an anomaly, right? I don't think he goes from shooting great takedowns, having great jiu-jitsu, having good striking, to just pulling guard, wiping his ass on the floor. I don't think that was like a game plan. I don't think that's where his skills are. I think it was an anomaly. So if I remove that from the equation, we have a Mike Davis that has very good takedowns. He's very athletic. He's got good hands, good striking. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's taking on Mitch Ramirez. While Mitch Ramirez is struggling to get his first win in the UFC, he has not had easy fights. His first was against Carlos Prates, and then his second was short notice against Thiago Moises. These are not easy fights for anybody. Mitch Ramirez is kind of a grappler himself. He's got some decent wrestling, decent striking. He'll throw a ton of leg kicks. He'll use those to set up the takedowns. If he gets the fight to the ground, he's going to control. He is not looking to finish. Even though I do think Mitch is better than these odds, and Mitch is probably better than the recent run of luck the UFC has given him, I don't think he's going to win here because I don't see Mitch outstriking Mike Davis. And we just talked about the fact that I don't think Mike Davis is going to be pulling guard all desperate to get this to the ground. So now we have a Mike Davis back in his old form, shooting takedowns. Mike also has phenomenal jiu-jitsu. So if Mitch Ramirez wants to play the jiu-jitsu game, he will lose that to Mike Davis. So Mike Davis is the pick. Minus 900, not great, especially coming off his last performance, but he likely gets it done. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, if you guys don't know about Mike Davis and you just watch his last fight, maybe you guys are new because he didn't fight very often. So maybe you just watch that last fight and you're like, oh my God, minus 900. How could, after that last fight, it's like Mike Davis, if he gave a fuck about fighting, he is a title contender. This guy is one of the most talented guys in the UFC. He comes in, he fights once a year to pay the bills and keep his streaming goals alive, and that's just what he does. You can tell he doesn't really love fighting. He just does it because he's good at it. Usually it's pretty easy. His last fight, he says he's affected by the paint fumes. I was a big Mike Davis guy. I still like Mike Davis as a fighter. It was one of my biggest bets of the year. I'm like, oh my God, this guy, Ziam, Mike Davis is going to come in, take him down, and just fucking maul this guy. 13 seconds into this fight, I see Mike Davis shoot a nice little entry. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, here we go. Reach my hand into my pants, getting ready to get the thing going. And all of a sudden, he just falls backward, as Angelo said, straight pull guard. And I said, what the fuck was that? And I've never been so horrified in my fucking life. How many? Did I have like 4 or 5 units on this guy? I can't remember.
I don't remember if he was in the safety parlay that week, but he might have been. And he was affordable. It wasn't like he was minus 700.
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm all over fucking Mike Davis. The good news is, even with the way he started that, even with he talks about he didn't have the hotel, the paint fumes, all this stuff, and you could tell he was fucking tired. Like 2 minutes into that fight, it was like, oh, fuck. He still was trying to work through it. He didn't quit. Right? We've seen people in those positions, Claudio Puelles, Herbert Burns, those type of guys that get in those, adversity and they're like, oh, fuck this. I'm just going to go home. He did not. And he should have probably won that fight with that calf slicer. I mean, Ziam's knee is about to fucking just explode.
Oh, yeah, that calf slicer was so close.
I mean, he literally was just folding this guy in half. Even at the end, he was reversing position, landing elbows. So you know that if adversity strikes, he's at least he's not a fucking pussy, even though the pulling guard thing was not a good look. But he pulled guard, he tried to sweep, and then he went back up. But you can tell that this guy doesn't really love fighting, but you can tell he loves grappling. This guy loves grappling. His whole Instagram is grappling. He is like one of those Isaac Dolgarian guys to where he loves trying the wild shit. And Mitch Ramirez is a guy that on the ground, he is capable on the ground. There's a likelihood he's probably going to get finished anyway, but I do worry about Mike Davis trying to make a statement, trying to, prove everyone like, oh, that's not who I was. Come in, try to grapple a little bit too hard, right? With all the weird shit, maybe a Peruvian necktie, this stuff. Mitch is able to withstand it, and Mitch is a capable fighter, and things could get interesting. But Mike Davis is the better wrestler. He is the better grappler. He's got good striking as well. He's a super talented guy. That's why he's minus 900. If you didn't know, I do worry a little bit.
I get it. And the general sentiment seems to be like, I learned my lesson. I'm never betting on this guy ever again. And I understand that sentiment. There's a few comments here. People talk about this fight specifically. Will said he didn't just jiu-jitsu nerd for no reason. His joints are weak because of his disease. He's talking about Lyme disease. Listen, my mother has Lyme disease. She got it from a deer tick. She got it 20 years ago. You keep that forever. I watched my mother make 86 meatballs in an afternoon and just went like this with her fingers to shake them out. Her joints were fine. Mike Davis' joints are fine. It is not a joint issue because of Lyme disease. Maybe
Angelo is underneath a bull, sucking balls with AIDS. He's an inspiration. If Angelo can do that with AIDS, Angelo almost got down a fucking Big Mac in a minute with AIDS.
And I probably could have. My issue with the Big Mac minute challenge there was I went in cocky. I was like, I'm going to do this slow to show people. And then I was just, oh, shit. And I wasn't going to refilm it because,
you just said something about a cock, and then you said slow, and then you just wanted to finish it.
Do you want it in your mouth? Have you ever heard of Do you want it in your mouth for a long time? You want to get it over with?
Excuse me?
That was what was it? It was like a debate.
Yeah, I bet.
Listen, we're both picking Mike Davis here. He's $9,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. He could find a finish here. If I have to spend $9,800 on him or $9,900 on Fatima, I probably spend the $9,900 on Fatima just because Mitch actually is kind of big. I know the stats show that Mike Davis is going to be bigger. Mitch is pretty freaking big. And Mike Davis, maybe his disease will prevent him from grappling the way that people thinks he should grapple. So I'm probably going to spend the 9,900 on Fatima over the 98 on Mike Davis. But if you're in that camp, go ahead and give it a whirl. If you do want to check out every single pick, every single bet, and every single tool, we have a whole slew of tools that will pick fights for you, a whole slew of tools that will give you every data point you could ever want, need, or imagine. You can unlock every single one of them for an entire month. It is only $10, and that $10 will unlock this card, UFC 318 next week, UFC Abu Dhabi, and then the Tatsuro Taira Fight Night after that. WeWantPicks.com.
How many times would you estimate, which is probably going to be hard, but try to, if you can, have you watched Brokeback Mountain?
I've never seen it, but I'd make quite a few.
Oh, bullshit! Oh, bullshit!
Now ask me how many times I've seen Wild Things.
What?
You don't know Wild Things?
Is that a homosexual film?
No. You'll find out if you're straight or not real fast. We got a $2 super chat from Bub Collins. I'm going to this event, my first ever. I love the hat, Ange.
This is like one of the cheapest events on record to go to. The get-in price is like $100 for.
Really? Why? Because they weren't selling tickets, or it was just open that way, or what?
I mean, have you never had an economics class in your life?
I understand how supply and demand works, you fuck weasel. I'm just asking if they lowered the prices or if that's what they opened at, because the UFC historically has
nobody lowers prices. The market dictates the price. They're not out there with the fucking BOGO. They're not out there with the fucking signs with the arrow. We got tickets over here for the UFC. They set the price, they get out there, and if they're not selling late in the game, then the market dictates the price. It's sold out.
Well, shit stick. The tickets for No Day UFC got slashed by 50% on Ticketmaster because they weren't selling. And the same with UFC 316. So my question to you is, did the UFC
stopped listening to you.
Price? I bet you did. I bet you did. Looking at this hat, I would be afraid of it too.
The fuck was that?
Hey.
What the hell is going on?
The next line says that A is bad. That's not a bad. Hey. I'm from Texas. That's a good.
You're supposed to say, bitch, I'm from Texas.
Bitch, I'm from Texas. I don't know the rest of the words. I got to learn them, though.
What the fuck was that? You're at a circus?
I'm from Texas. I don't know the words. I just know, hey, bitch, I'm from Texas. It's a great song. Great song.
Yeah, it was a year and a half ago. You're right.
Well, it's better. I've been, I'm late to the game. It's better than the Connecticut song. That song fucking sucked. Next up at UFC Nashville, we got a couple of heavyweights. We got Kennedy Nzechukwu. I say Njokuani, and the community corrected me about 15 times, taking on Valter Walker. This seems to be a controversial fight. I have seen more people in the community say that Valter Walker is a lock on this card than anybody saying Kennedy's going to win. I haven't seen a single comment saying Kennedy's going to win. So while the general public seems to be on Valter, these odds aren't really indicative of that because they continue to widen.
Indicative.
Hey. Oh, I can't be an educated cowboy. I'm an Idaho cowboy. This isn't a Southern cowboy.
You said dick.
Indicative. I thought you were making fun of the larger vocabulary.
Would you rather give 1,000 hand jobs or 1 blow job?
Do I count? Because it's 1,000 and I've been there before. I hit that number a while ago. 3rd grade. I hit that number. Kennedy Njokuani up at heavyweight. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's looking for the 3rd win at heavyweight. Taking on Valter Walker. 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back heel hook wins. And the general consensus seems to be Kennedy Njokuani's not going to be able to get this fight not be able to keep this fight standing. And if Valter gets to the ground, he's going to have some issues. And I agree with that general sentiment. Kennedy at light heavyweight and Kennedy at heavyweight do seem to be 2 different fighters, though. At light heavyweight, the guy was tremendous. He had incredible reach, and he was a little gun-shy, didn't quite fully commit, a couple of staring contests. But at heavyweight, he's finding finishes. Granted, the matchups are a little easier, but he's not quite as low volume. He is letting his hands go a little more. And maybe he's got more energy. Maybe he's more comfortable from not cutting weight. But Kennedy Njokuani was still big at this weight class. He's coming off 2 knockout wins in a row at the weight class. He's taking on Valter Walker. That's Johnny Walker's brother. He's tall like Johnny at 6'6". He's much bigger than Johnny is, but he did slim down in his UFC debut. He looked like a bag of marshmallows pulled out of a microwave. Now he's sort of slim and trim. He's put on a little muscle weight, dropped some of that fat. He's looking the part. He's shooting takedowns. He's getting the fights to the ground. And now he has 2 heel hook victories in a row, which is the first time that has ever happened in the UFC. The reality is Valter Walker, despite being Brazilian by flag, is basically a Russian. He spent the majority of his life in Russia, and he fights like a Russian. He'll come forward, strike a little bit, use his takedowns to get the fights to the ground, and he's not just a lean against the cage and drag you there. He will shoot actual takedowns. I do think Valter Walker gets this to the ground. I do think he wins this fight, and I do have a money line bet on him at plus 180. Jacob, what do you think of your fellow Brazilian?
Can you explain that third grade thing again? You said you gave 1,000 hand jobs in third grade?
And I said, do I count? Every time you jerk off, you're giving a hand job. Hey.
Oh, God. We got how many more fights?
8.
All right, guys. Maybe Angelo will add the timestamp of like when it's like just me talking so we can get some actual breakdowns or something. I don't know. I wish I could if I could clip this last 40 minutes and show it to Angelo 3 years ago. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine watching yourself right now from the Angelo 3 years ago? Hello, this is Angelo from We Won Picks. We give down the breakdowns. Watch a video of us 3 years ago and watch how fucking stiff this dude was. And now he's fucking a flaming homosexual now. I respect what Valter has done in his last 2
I'm sorry,
fights.
hold on. Ethan says, why does Jacob act like a 17-year-old and why is Jacob way skinnier than Angelo way skinnier than Jacob says? That was the number one question I got at UFC 317. I met 100 of you, every single person. Holy shit, you're skinny. Holy shit, you're tall. How short is Jacob? I'm sorry, continue.
I respect what Valter Walker has done. Obviously, he came in his UFC debut, and he really thought that he was going to be kind of the man, just take people down, just maul them. And he had those cardio issues. I mean, physically, he changed himself. He came into his next fight, boom, takedown, heel hook, minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next fight, boom, takedown, heel hook, minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And now people think this guy is just a fucking world beater because he took down 2 guys that can't defend a takedown to save their lives, got a couple random heel hooks, and they just think that now he just mauls people for 15 minutes. He still has not answered the question of if he can do it round after round after round. So people think that he's just going to take down Kennedy and maul him and then take down Kennedy and then find a finish. Kennedy knows what he's doing in the wrestling and the grappling. Yeah, he's been taken down before, but if you watch a fight like a Devin Clark, if you watch a fight like the Jan Kutalaba, he's getting taken down. He can defend takedowns. When he's getting taken down, he knows what the fuck he's doing. He's been in the gym. He's an actual mixed martial artist. He knows how to hip escape, get to the fence, use the fence, get back to his feet, circle around, threaten his own takedowns. If you want to shoot all willy-nilly, he's long, rangy. He can tie up that neck with that guillotine, maybe even a ninja choke. This guy is an actual mixed martial artist. Now, I understand. Those were 205ers that were taking him down. Now we got this big-ass motherfucker Valter, and I assume he probably is going to get a takedown or 2. But the questions have still not been answered of whether he can do that for 2 or 3 fucking rounds against an actual mixed martial artist, another big dude that's still filling out into the heavyweight division. And if all of a sudden he's getting a little bit gassed and can't fucking get a takedown, guess who is the 10 times better striker in this fight? Kennedy. So I'm going to trust the guy that I've seen withstand some takedowns and fucking clean people out of fucking 205 and heavyweight, the much better striker. I always pick the better striker in a mostly striking matchup. Valter's probably going to get a takedown too early. I don't give a fuck. Let's see if he can do that for 3 rounds because Kennedy's going to be there. He's not going to get fucking heel hooked in 2 fucking minutes. I'll take Kennedy. I have seen all the bullshit as well about Valter. Lock of the week. Oh, Valter. Ask yourself why the entire public is on Valter and he's still sitting at plus 170. The odds keep getting wider for Kennedy. Anytime there's a public dog, they get fucking smoked 100% of the time, and Valter's the biggest trap of the week.
Listen, I don't agree with I do agree with the whole public sentiment, but had those thoughts about Beneil Dariush as well after I was on.
What does he prove? He takes down Tafa, he takes down Dante Mays, and people think that this guy's just come in and smoke a guy like Kennedy?
He physically looks better.
Yeah, so but that doesn't mean fuck for shit.
It literally does. It literally does. He put in the time and the effort to
You have no idea. The guy could just be cutting out carbs and not increase his fucking cardio. You can look physically better and not have better cardio. Still fucking gas. Usually it's the fat guys that fucking are better anyway.
Thank you. We got there. Listen, $8,800 for Kennedy, not spending that. Listen, even if you're Jacob and you think Kennedy wins, $8,800 is not happening. Valter is tough. We saw him take that wild.
Oh, man, if he can't get the fucking against Lucas Bresky. Oh, my God, dude. Kennedy would light him the fuck up and knock him out. The one thing I haven't bet Kennedy because Kennedy does kind of drive me insane sometimes because he is kind of lackadaisical in there, right? Hands low, he gets a little bit cocky, all this type of stuff. But honestly, in this fight, I don't mind it. Drop your hands a little bit and fucking defend the takedown and snipe him.
Into a 48-year-old man, and it was a staring.
I don't want picks. I want Jacob to sit on my face and toot.
Oop. Volcano green, lava orange. Well, while Jacob's sitting on that guy's face and laying an egg.
Hits the ground and it's a wrap. Do you guys think that Kennedy's just fucking retarded or something? That he's never grappled a day in his life? That's what people think. I don't understand this whole thing of like Valter's like this fucking. It's fucking a Tafa and Dontel Mays. What are we doing?
The skinny Tafa. Listen, Kennedy and Njokuani, if you're on that side, I get it. That dude has proven he's got the power. He is a monster. At heavyweight, he's gotten the finishes. While Jacob goes on and on about the bums Valter beat at heavyweight, I didn't hear him mention Chris Barnett or Lucas Bresky under Kennedy's wins. Because before that, he lost to Carlos Ulberg years ago, getting dotted up. And before that, he lost to OSP in a literal staring contest. We'll find out. My only hesitation here is the public is all over Valter. Anytime that does get very concerning, we're able to buck that trend with Beneil Dariush, but that's because Renato Moicano's an absolute moron, and he ruined that fight for himself. If you do want to check out every pick and every bet, we have bets on this fight. Check them all out now at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. It's $10 for an entire month. You will unlock all of it. Not just this card, UFC 318, UFC Abu Dhabi, and the fight night after that. $20 super chat from Jared Staples. Now we have Brokeback Mountain Edge. That's not nice. That is not kind. And you know what? There's a lot of room behind you. Do you mind backing up and just giving your best Magic Mike impression with the cowboy hat? And No.
There you go. Come on. Just feel it a little bit.
I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
You bite the lip and it lets them know. It lets them know it's about to happen. You know what's about to happen? We're going to break down the next fight. Next up at UFC Nashville, we have Lauren Murphy taking on Eduarda Moura in another fight with astonishing odds. Eduarda Moura minus 700 in this fight, taking on former title challenger Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy is 3-2 in her last 5, and she's coming back after a dose-year layoff. Taking on Eduarda Moura, 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off a grappling win over the pretty good Veronica Hardy. Lauren Murphy is somebody we've broken down a ton of times before. Is she amazing skill-wise? No. Is she physically imposing? Yes. She's got good will, good determination. She is strong. She'll move forward, and she will grind. She's not faster than anybody. She's likely not more skilled than anybody. She's not more powerful than
I think the important thing is that we've seen her titty.
You've seen the titty, and she's talking about the way you stay married is you give blowjobs. So her husband is happy.
Now say that again.
Lauren Murphy has said several times over, the way you have a happy life is you hand out some blowjobs. So Lauren Murphy has a very happy husband. He's not going to be happy when
I don't know, because just because you're giving them doesn't mean you're giving them right, because, once you've had a good one.
Show us the best way to give one.
Once you've had a good one, your whole life honestly changes and nothing. It's like you're constantly just kind of chasing that, to be honest with you.
And her husband's not going to be too pleased with her this weekend because she's going to come home a little battered, a little bruised because she's taking on Eduarda Moura. And while Eduarda Moura isn't the most dangerous person in this division, she is a solid grappler with good takedowns and submissions. She is aggressive with that grappling. She wastes no time coming across the cage, initiating a takedown. The striking is sloppy, but it's really there just to set up the takedown. She's coming off that win over Veronica Hardy where she was not desperate for the takedowns. She set them up appropriately, and she got them when she went for them. She's taking on a 41-year-old. And yes, there is a giant difference in experience and probably a difference in just physical strength. And there could be a difference in just will and determination as well. But I do think a 2-year layoff at that age, taking on a young up-and-comer who will shoot the takedowns, who will grind, Eduarda Moura has to be the pick. And the odds are unfortunately appropriate on a card like this when the odds are absolutely insane. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, Moura is one of my girls. You know, she is the Brazilian, former lock of the week, got the job done against Veronica Hardy, answered the questions of her cardio, can she strike? The biggest question going into that fight against Veronica Hardy was, can she get the takedowns? And if she can't get the takedowns, can she go 15 minutes in the striking? Because as somebody like a Valter Walker, she was coming in, just kind of smoking everybody, ran into a girl that knew what she was doing in Denise Gomes and really kind of struggled. Obviously, she never quit in that. She was just spamming takedowns, but the cardio wasn't quite there. Came in against Veronica Hardy and looked good in the striking, handled herself in the striking, got the takedowns when she needed to solidify the rounds. The game plan was perfect. If you look at her Instagram, which I do hourly, it looks like she slimmed down even more, because if you watch her in the Contender Series, I mean, she fucking jacked up. Looks like she slimmed down even more to be even better in this division. I think she's going to look great in there. If you don't know who Eduarda Moura is, you've never watched her before, she is a very high-level wrestler and grappler. I mean, she is like one of those rare girls that shoots like blast doubles. I mean, picks people up, slams them down, cuts the angles, very explosive in what she does. She's a training partner, good friends of Jailton Almeida, so that's kind of the grappling prowess that she has in fights. If she comes in and wants to get the takedowns, she should be able to get the takedowns. If she comes in, this is almost like the Mike Davis thing, with her old game plan, thinks she's just going to get takedowns and just kind of destroy and maul a girl like Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy is not very good. On the feet, she's a heavy bag, but what she is, it's very, very tough. And if Eduarda comes in and just tries to maul her, blows her load, things could get a little bit interesting, because we've seen Moura slowed down before in fights. But I think she kind of hangs out, lands some nice shots on the feet. Lauren Murphy, as I mentioned, is very, very hittable and does kind of the same game plan she has last time. Touch, 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 get a takedown, try to find a finish. I actually think that it almost feels like Lauren Murphy has been too tough for too long. She's been in so many fights where she just gets the fucking shit beat out of her. I mean, Shevchenko did it. Andrade's last fight was fucking almost hard to watch at times.
That was bad.
Yeah, and it feels like Eduarda is really going to sit on some stuff. She's a strong girl with power, improving the striking, and could finally kind of crack that code of hurting a girl like Lauren Murphy. I think we may be able to find a finish in this. I'm all over Eduarda. This is a pretty tailor-made matchup for her. Lauren Murphy isn't anything too dangerous, except for she's durable. Maybe she can get Eduarda to kind of gas herself out, but Eduarda seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders, and I can't wait. I'm a big fan of Eduarda.
Yeah, listen, I'm on the Eduarda side. I know people are hating on the odds, and it's women, but I get it. But we are in this era now of the UFC where the odds are just tricky. Like, people recognize pretty one-sided fights, and they bet the absolute shit out of them, and this is one of those fights. It should be one-sided. Younger, faster, stronger, better wrestler. It should be one-sided. Eduarda Moura is going to be the pick. That $9,500 on the DraftKings fantasy side is when it gets a little tricky, because she may not get a finish. Like Jacob's point, Lauren Murphy can take a savage beating, and if she just takes a beating here, Eduarda's going to need a whole ton of takedowns to really cover that salary. I don't know.
She's pretty good about, I mean, if she wants to wrestle, I could see her easily getting into mount, and I mean, she'll chase subs too. She's very good with the subs as well. And you can you can be very, very tough, but you know, when that arm goes around your neck.
Well, I do think Lauren's a solid grappler, so I don't know if she'll get subbed, but I don't think she'll be able to.
Excuse me? What'd you say?
She's a solid grappler.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see.
She's got good jiu-jitsu.
Are we just gonna get just
Why
randomly
you
wildly
creeping in here?
racist?
I can't see you. What are you doing? All right. Well, now this is my wife.
Oh my God,
She came in
Tiffany,
from
get
the
the fuck out!
She's also working the ranch.
Jacob,
Give us a. You're actually a
new hat.
what?
Oh yeah, she's got a hat too because she's also on the ranch.
You're actually a
Cowgirl.
cowgirl. Can you give us a little yeehaw?
Yeehaw!
See, she's got the twang in it. Now you do it, Angelo.
Hey.
You give
I
us a
don't
little
do
yeehaw.
I do. Hey.
I'm going to take my medicine because conversations got interesting.
Okay, listen. You and I are both on the same side here. I do think Eduarda Moura, while wildly expensive, might be. You might have to throw in a little bit of a parlay. If you want the most juiced parlay of all time, throw Eduarda Moura, that 1,400 Fatima, and that 900.
Oh my God, my parlay of the fucking century I put on Twitter is the under 2.5 for both girl fights, and we're gonna.
I
Get
saw,
paid
yeah, I saw you
millions.
did that. We
Oh
had
my
that.
God.
We had that a few months ago, where I quite literally said the under 2.5 here in a rare lady fight might be the way to go. And there was 2 female fights; they were back to back, both of them finished, and that was the first time in the history of the UFC that 2 female fights went back to back.
And then these are, I mean, Fatima has such an advantage on the ground. Eduarda just has such an advantage everywhere. It just feels like they should both find finishes.
Well, it'll be. I hope they do.
Hey!
Hey! No, that's not it. Hey!
Hey!
Oh, that wasn't it. That wasn't.
Hey!
Honestly, only a big black dude can do it. Like it is like.
So we are just gonna get wildly racist. Okay.
How is that racist? It's a compliment.
You were mocking
You know who
the
else-
Brazilians 5 minutes ago. Now you're bringing up.
You know who else has a phenomenal? Obviously, big X the plug, and that dude Dre from Dallas. He's got a phenomenal. Like he's got a
Who the
great.
fuck is Dre from Dallas?
He's a food TikToker.
Is he black?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
Not
great-
surprised. Not surprised, Angelo. Not surprised.
I'm not either. He's got a great A.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either.
Anyway,
Right-
you can unlock
right,
every
D? Right, D? We're not surprised.
pick, every pick, every bet, every tool right now at WeWantPicks.com. All of it instantly.
So, Instinct said this has to be a fever dream. I agree. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
It's a weird night. Listen, we're in Idaho. We're hanging out.
Remember when Angelo called his black friend and he didn't pick up?
I remember, and he called me back the next day. He's like, "Did you call me?" I said, "Yeah, dickhead." And now I look like an idiot that I just made you up. And then I was like, can you? He's like, "No, I'm not." No, the fuck out of here. I wanted him to weigh in on. I wanted him to film a video accepting you into the African American community since gingers were accepted. And he was like, "I'm not doing that." I said, "All right, I got you."
Yeah, I mean, when you're accepted, you're accepted. I don't need his fucking
I don't
Who
need
the fuck,
his
who the fuck
approval.
is he? That little uppity dude? That dude's never seen the streets in his life.
Newtown, Connecticut was rough and tumble. Rough and tumble.
Southside
Next
Indy.
up.
Southside Indy, baby.
Wait, did I miss a super chat? I missed a whole shit ton of super. Nope. Brokeback Mountain Ange, we got to that one. Woody from Toy Story. What is it? Shoot for the sky. What is it?
That's Buzz.
No, that's to infinity and beyond, dickhead.
Oh my God, Andy's home.
Is he gone? Is he
Are
gone?
you okay?
I hid from Andy.
Are you okay?
I hid from Andy.
I understand that. I'm being serious. Are you okay?
I'm solid Ange, man. Is the ground okay is the question.
I literally grabbed my desk. I thought I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I saw your camera. I don't think you understood how much your camera just shook, and it scared me. I literally was like, people on Twitter are freaking out right now. Did you feel that? Did you feel that? Oh my God.
Are they seeding more clouds? Listen, $4.99 from Jared Staples lets him know we knew it. I'm definitely missing the context here, Jared. I'm sorry. You sent this 5 minutes ago. I don't know the context there. Tell us the context.
Oh my God, there's tsunami warnings in Japan.
$2 from Enema. 1,000 hand jobs, Ange. You haven't jerked off 1,000 times in your life? And then one black friend, Ange. Two. And I'm not including my Connecticut buddy's entire family.
He's
got two brothers and a sister.
I mean, hold on.
Jared of Staples also said the whole house shook. They all came down and checked on me.
26. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Hold on.
26.
Yeah, I mean, I guess those numbers add up. I mean, if you've been jerking off for probably about 26 years, 1,000 times is about 38 times a year.
Dude, the one a month?
What? 38 times a year is one a month, Angelo?
Oh, my bad. Okay. I think I need another one to clear the 1,001.
Are you out of breath from just falling down?
That was a reset breath. And I didn't fall down. I launched myself to the earth.
You're out of breath just from falling. Gravity has put you out of breath.
Keeping myself upright is what's exhausting. Letting gravity do what it wants to do is easy.
Literally getting up is like a normal person getting up from fucking, Jupiter or something. Whatever crazy, or Mercury, whatever has the craziest gravity is like you getting up on Earth's gravity. Like just just peeling yourself off the ground.
My whole body is Thor's hammer. Just like trying. All right, here we go. Next up at UFC Nashville, we have Jake Matthews taking on Chidi Njokuani. Jake Matthews, 21-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5 years, riding back-to-back wins. He's taking on Chidi Njokuani, 3-2 in his last 5 years on that nice 3-fight win streak. And the reason this is an interesting fight is because Chidi Njokuani is a physical specimen. This guy is 6'3" at this weight class. He has kind of little itty-bitty skinny legs, but he moves really well. He's got power. He's got great reach. He's got good volume. He is fast as shit. Like, Chidi Njokuani is an absolute physical specimen for this weight class. But he can slow down a little bit as the fight goes on because he is so big. He can either control distance or just absolutely get after it. He does mix up those two pretty well. But if you can get to his legs, those little itty-bitty skinny legs, you can take him down and have some success. He's coming off that win over Elijah Zaleski where Chidi, was rocked early. He overcame. He got through it. He won that fight, but he's rocked a little early, and he's not that young, so now there may be some questions about his chin. And he's going to need to be able to keep that chin because he's taking on Jake Matthews. And while Jake Matthews isn't the most powerful striker in the division, he is insanely durable. He does have powerful strikes, and he can grapple. He's a well-rounded guy. He will change angles. He'll move to the legs. He'll come back up for the boxing. He's got a decent striking differential of about 3-2. He's got good power in his hands. And he's insanely durable. He is coming off that win over Francisco Prado where he looked very good, but we can't forget Francisco was moving up in weight and the size definitely played a role in that. This is a really hard fight to break down because I recognize how good Chidi is. Chidi is good. He is fast. And when he's not just staring at you and he's letting his hands go, he's a problem for a lot of people. The market has dictated that Chidi should be the favorite. I'm going the other way here because I do think Jake Matthews can get the takedown, and I'm 100% sure that Jake Matthews is durable. So even if Chidi has some early success, I think he will slow down, and I think Chidi will probably dot up Jake Matthews, and then Jake will get frustrated, go to the wrestling, and once he does that, he can take over. Jake Matthews is my pick. Teeny-weeny bet on him. What do you think, Jacoby?
Yeah, Jake the Snake Matthews. Full transparency, I was against him in his last fight. I hit Francisco Prado because I thought that Francisco was going to be able to match the striking of Jake Matthews. And honestly, I thought Prado was going to rest a little bit more. He got an early takedown, and then, like a lot of lock of the weeks I've been doing lately, they just go full fucking retarded. I mean, that guy got one early takedown that was pretty easy and then just got punched in the face for the next 2 rounds. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but I did earn a lot of respect for Jake Matthews because his striking every single fight just gets better and better and better. And I know Chidi is who he is, and people think that he's like this big, dominating figure, but I mean, you're looking at his wins here. I mean, Mario Souza. Who the fuck is Mario Souza? Marc-Andre Barriute, he knocks him out. Okay. Dusko, Okay, Stoshko loses to Gregory, gets knocked out. Loses to Durayev in a split. Loses to Olajaychuk and gets knocked out. Reese McKee was kind of spamming takedowns, and Chidi kind of worked out that split decision because he also was trying to fight at range. Another tall guy is Chidi, and Chidi was able to do enough to win. He fights a Jarrett Gooden who doesn't belong in the fucking UFC. I mean that guy with that. And then a 50-year-old Zaleski who also was just kind of just didn't know what the fuck to do in that fight and ended up getting knocked out as well. Jake Matthews, been there, done that, tried and true veteran, been in the UFC since he was 19 fucking years old. This guy's got like fucking a million fights in the UFC already. What I like about Jake Matthews is he changes what he does in the striking, right? He can throw the calf kicks on the Muay Thai guy. He will work the body. He will go body head. He will go double jab to a right hand. He will switch stances. He has good footwork to close the pocket. And if Chidi can't just stay at range and throw those front kicks and those teep kicks and the front kicks and the teep kicks and wear people down and then crash in with the Muay Thai elbows, if you don't make this a Muay Thai fight, Chidi is just another guy. He's just a big guy. If you try to fight a Muay Thai fight with Chidi, like a Reese McKee did when he couldn't get the takedowns, it's fucking trouble because that's what this guy does. But Jake Matthews knows how to get inside the pocket. You saw against Phil Rowe, another very long, rangy fighter. And Phil Rowe is a fucking fantastic boxer. Really sharp with his hands. Way better than Chidi with the hands. Way more dangerous with his hands. So when you're closing the distance against Phil Rowe, it's much more dangerous. And Jake Matthews was able to do that. Even cracked Phil Rowe, hurt him. You saw Chidi, even in that fight, his last fight versus Zaleski, in the pocket, a little over the shot, side of the head, hurt him, wobbled him. I think Jake Matthews is coming in, turning this into more of a boxing match than a Muay Thai match. And in the pocket, Chidi is just another dude, and Jake Matthews throws nice, tight combinations, throws them hot, throws them heavy, throws them with some stinky fucking cheese on there. And honestly, I could see him finding a finish in this fight. I'm pretty high on Jake Matthews. He's even got the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu in his back pocket. I know a lot of people want him to come in and wrestle. I promise you, he's not going to do that. The guy likes to strike. He's got good striking. If he needs to go to it, maybe he goes to it. But I just feels like he's going to be able to get inside the pocket. When he gets in the pocket, he's the better striker here. So just don't fight a Muay Thai fight against Chidi, and you're probably going to beat him. And I think he knows that. He seems like a smart kid. So I'm with Jake the Snake here. Jake Matthews.
He's also insanely durable. So I'm not worried about an early Chidi.
Well, he got knocked down like fucking 6 times versus Semmelsberger.
Yeah, but he came through. Okay? He survived. He was able to push through and make it happen.
Knocked down, but I don't be. You're never gonna keep me down. I'll get knocked down. Brock it up, kid. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down. Brock it up, you're never gonna keep me down. Oh.
You just hear the rustling of IKEA furniture in the background. All right. Well, while he's putting his mother's guest room back together, I'm going to tell you about DraftKings Fantasy. $8,000, $8,200. Pick your side. Pick your side. Now, this could be a sneaky, not scored highly type fight, meaning Jake Matthews could win just a cleaner boxing match. And then all of a sudden he scores 7,500 points in a win, or 75 points in a win. Or it could be a little more aggressive. They can get at it. Somebody could get knocked down. Jake could go to the wrestling. So if you are on a side here, I think Jake's side is the only side that would be worth the DraftKings price because A, he's a dog.
Jake is being biased for sure. I picked against him as my lock of the week, you dumb fuck, Jake.
He's not the only one that thinks you're biased. Because if we go to the voicemails, that was one of the earliest comments we got. If you guys didn't know,
just to let you know, Angelo, you are not fat.
Thank you. She
so
gets
fuck those guys.
Fuck them.
And you are awesome.
It's actually this very first. We have a voicemail box. You can leave a voicemail, and here's one of the very first voicemails we ever got.
Angelo, you're fat and Jacob's biased.
Okay, so he's not the only one that thinks Jake is biased, but it is what it is. If you want to leave your own voicemail, Call 1-866-WE-WANT-PICKS. Leave a voicemail for the boys. And if you want to unlock the greatest lineup of tools, picks, and bets in this space, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. You will have instant access to everything we do. And if you don't care about those things and you just want to support the boys, become a premium member. It's $10 for an entire month. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. We got a ton of super chats. $9.99 from Jared Staples in the Whole House Show. This is when I leapt to my safety to hide from Andy so he doesn't know that I'm a real boy.
Go ahead.
What?
No, D, I didn't see it because I was wrestling with my board there, but he said, Jake, there was a pause after saying Chidi is just a big guy. Almost slipped up there, partner. Bad enough we have Angelo counting his black friends like loose change at a convenience store. I fucking love D. I follow D on, we talk on Twitter sometimes, but a lot of times his tweets come across my For You page, and every time he's like replying, it's like the funniest shit in the world.
The next Lennon, I'm glad you have a friend. The next Lennon, $1.99, Jake is due to get slept. I'm calling it Kevin Lee 2.0. What? I mean, why is he due to get slept? Because he got dropped a couple of times, I guess.
Yeah, who is Chidi sleeping? I mean, he hits with a knee.
Gregory Rodriguez split him open, but lost that fight. Christian Baller, $2. Just tuning in, Angelo at Brokeback Mountain. No, I'm at a real ranch in Idaho doing fucking ranch shit and drinking Modelo's. Okay? Like a man. $1.99 from Jeffrey Pleites. I don't remember Toy Story being like this. Well, they made 6 of them.
Isn't it crazy that they say that that all of a sudden I've never seen you in a better mood 2 days after the Epstein list said it doesn't exist. All of a sudden, Angelo's traveling the world. The passport's good to go. He's drinking Modelo's. Hey, we're on top of the world. There's no list.
0 potatoes left in Idaho now. I have not had an Idaho potato yet, but I'll tell you right now, I would. I'll eat bison or elk. Just got to find a menu with it. I haven't come across one yet, but we'll get there.
Where is your cutoff for animals? Would you say? Would you eat a horse?
That PETA picture is perfect. I have eaten horse. Italians eat horse. It's mortadella. Real mortadella. You get mortadella in America, it's not horse. You get real mortadella in Italy, it's a horse. And I think they've evolved past that, but my family's from poor little Naples, Italy, and I ate horse.
Oh, yeah, poor little Naples. Oh, yeah. My family lives in Naples, Italy.
They're from there. They moved to America for a better life.
Oh.
My mom grew up in an orphanage in Naples so that her mother could come to America to find a place for them to live. Then came back 5 years later after making her live in an orphanage, picked her up, brought her to New York.
She went to fucking summer camp that lasted 5 years. Wow, whoa, what a rough life. Oh my God, I got to just hang out with my friends for 5 years. No school or nothing.
Put her in kindergarten at 13 years old so she could learn English so that I could sit here in a cowboy hat and break down fights with my ginger friend. Now, if that's not the American dream for your kids, I don't know what is. That's got to be it. $4.99 from Jafar Raza. Jacob, can you explain your future? Well, this motherfucker. Oh, future 319 bet. I'm very conflicted on that fight. This dude's asking for premium shit.
No, it's a DDP bet. I mean, Jimmy fucking sucks. Very easy.
He doesn't suck, but he will slow down, and DDP.
He's got 3 minutes in that fight. DDP's a big-ass motherfucker who doesn't give a fuck about what you're doing.
And if he doesn't get finished in the first round, that's a problem. And it's 5 full rounds. Like, it's a problem for Chimaev for sure.
DDP
and
is
Chimaev
unbeatable. He's unbeatable.
Who, DDP?
Yeah, I mean, I fucking thought everyone was going to beat him, and nobody beat him. He's just fucking unbeatable. Literally, I'm like, Robert Whittaker was literally the perfect person to beat DDP. Can wrestle, has movement, is actually a real striker, and he fucking he took down Rob. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, and then he fucking just knocks him out. I'm like, all right, well, fucking I'm on the DDP train. We've been riding that shit for fucking thousands of dollars since.
Yeah, no, he beat his ass. Next up, at UFC Nashville, we have the featured fight of the prelims. We have Chris Curtis taking on Max Griffin. This fight is at welterweight. Chris Curtis is going down in weight. And before you lose your mind, he's been here before. He was at welterweight before his UFC stint. He moved up to middleweight because he got into the UFC on short notice. I believe it was against Phil Hawes was his first UFC fight. So he did it at middleweight. And he knocks out Phil Hawes. And he knocked out Brendan Allen. And then he had so much success in middleweight, he just stayed there. But he's had a little bit of a bumpy road recently, so he's going down back to where he was at welterweight, but he is 37 years old. That's a little concerning. And before I do this fight breakdown, I did this whole spiel on my quick pick video. And Chris Curtis watched that quick pick video and commented on it. Because I started it by saying, listen, Chris Curtis.
This is another one of your black friends.
See? 3. Chris Curtis watched the video, and in the video, obviously fast-forwarded to his part, which I get. It's what I would do. Fast-forwarded to his part, and I opened it by saying, listen, Chris Curtis is a little sensitive. And then I said, but I get it. I just played a voicemail for you that we got, and the first thing out of that guy's mouth is Angelo is fat. And that wasn't the only voicemail we got saying Angelo's fat. So I get the being sensitive. When you're exposed to that many people at one time, and anybody can say whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, I get it. So he watched that clip. I mentioned that Chris has lashed out at Jacob and I on Twitter, here on YouTube, and he commented on that video. You can see it. I pinned it, and he's a new Chris Curtis. He said, man, if I lashed out, I'm sorry. I'm a private guy. I wasn't used to all of that attention that early on. I didn't mean it. My bad. Like, it was the most humble I've ever seen the dude. He seems like a great guy, and he should win this fight. Chris Curtis is a very clean counter striker. Chris Curtis has very good awareness. Chris Curtis has a spectacular takedown defense. I don't love that he's going down to welterweight at 37 years old. And Jacob and I were there in person for his last fight when he got dropped, and that fight ended maybe a little too soon. He was going to lose that decision anyway because it was 1-1 going into the third, and he got dropped. Whether you stop it or not, he's probably losing that fight. Jacob, what were our thoughts in the moment? Did we feel like it was an early stoppage?
I mean, there was literally 1 second on the clock. There was no follow-up shots being offered. He was just on a knee looking up, and then they stopped. Literally 1 second left. And it's not, I mean, he was like, Kopylov was just walking away, and he was on a knee. It's not like he was just like glassed out on his back. He was just on a knee. He was obviously hurt, and if Kopylov followed up, he was going to get fucked up, but Kopylov was walking away, and there was no follow-up shot, so you got to have some sort of more awareness if you're a ref and just fucking let it go. I mean,
yeah, and the reality is he was going to lose that fight anyway because it was 1-1 on the scorecards going into the third, and that obviously was going to seal the third. Chris Curtis is a very good fighter. Chris Curtis is being given, no offense to Max Griffin, probably his easiest opponent in his UFC tenure. This guy has fought Kelvin Gastelum. He has fought Brendan Allen. He has fought Phil Hawes, who now is kind of chinny, but at the time,
Michael Morales.
Chris Curtis didn't fight Michael Morales.
I thought you were talking about Max Griffin.
No, I was saying that Max Griffin's probably one of the easier opponents for Chris Curtis, given who he's been fighting recently. But Max Griffin is not actually an easy opponent because, first of all, he's a true 170-pounder, meaning he's not going to be sucked out. He's used to this weight. Second of all, powerful striker. He's got an incredible amount of knockouts. He has 8 knockdowns in his UFC career. He beat the shit out of Ramiz Brahimaj, almost knocked his ear clean off of his head. He does a really good job trying to avoid the distance striking and making it something that he wants it to be, whether he wants to be in the pocket, he wants to throw those big heavy uppercuts, and he wants to get to the head. Max Griffin is a good fighter. Max Griffin has power. Is he the same name value as a Kelvin Gastelum? No. Is he a tough outing? Yes. I still am going to pick Chris Curtis, though, because I think Chris's counter striking is just too good. And I think when Max does throw those big power shots, Chris will be there and he'll fire back. I hate the weight cut. I hate the weight cut at this age after his last fight, but it is what it is. Chris Curtis is going to be the pick, and honestly, I'm rooting for him. The guy deserves some success and some praise. I feel like he's had a little bit of a rough road.
Does he really deserve it? Because he's kind of been a bitch to his own admission.
I like Chris Curtis. I always have.
Hey, motherfucker, I was the first person on Chris Curtis. The second he came into the UFC, I said he's probably going to knock out Phil Hawes, and he did. Then I said he's probably going to knock out Brendan Allen, and he fucking did. Chris Curtis has been my fucking lock of the week, I think 3 times, and I think he's 0-3. He's never won as lock of the week. So I have been the biggest Chris Curtis fan. I keep picking him and picking him, and lock of the week, and lock of the week, and lock of the week. He should be fine in this matchup. I like Max. Max is also a former lock of the week. He also lost as a lock of the week, and he just probably is just not that same guy. I mean, he's a little bit older. He might have the power, but the speed is not there. I know people want to give him shit for the last fight against Chiesa. Oh, he was losing the striking versus Chiesa. He had to worry about the takedowns. He don't want to get taken down against Chiesa, which end up happening, obviously. But when the takedowns and the grappling are a threat, your hands, you're going to be a little tentative with the hands. And if you have takedowns in your back pocket and you are a grappler, you can kind of throw whatever the fuck you want to throw, and it's going to land sometimes. So this is a little bit of a different fight for Max. It's going to be mostly striking. Chris Curtis is not going to shoot a fucking takedown unless all of a sudden at 170 he's like, hey, I'm pretty big. Let me just see if I can get a takedown. Max has pretty good takedown defense. I just think that the speed isn't going to be there. Those big right hands that he's always kind of looking for. Chris Curtis has been there, done that. Honestly, what I feel like is Chris Curtis is going to dominate this fight with his pace and volume. If the cut is fine for him, could even wear down and find a finish second or third round against Max Griffin. And then we're going to have next week a 38-year-old Chris Curtis looking at his career thinking, damn, why did I get in all those 185 wars when I could have been at 170 doing my thing and maybe even being a contender? Because I understand he went to 185 and it was nice not to cut all that weight, and he was filled out and he was almost beating a lot of good people, but those were definitely some wars that he was in, and at 170 he could have been a little bit cleaner with that KO power, and I think he might come out of this fight regretting some of the decisions he made, but maybe not. I think Chris Curtis gets it done. I'm pretty confident in it. I just don't think Max is going to land the big shots. Hard to land big shots on Chris. And even when 185ers were doing it, he was eating it pretty well. So,
yeah, and if you were going to compare Roman Kopylov is a different level striker. Roman Kopylov is very, very, very good striker. And when you don't have to worry about the takedowns, to Jacob's point, then you can just be the very, very, very good striker that you are. And Chris Curtis yelled at Jacob in that fight. Jacob was telling Roman, don't box with this guy, meaning kickbox.
I forgot about that, yeah.
And Chris Curtis literally, he got kicked in the nuts or something, right? He was in his corner adjusting his nuts, I believe. And you were yelling to Roman, don't box with this guy. And Chris Curtis turns around, looked at you, and said, stop helping him. It was funny. It was great. Yeah. Everybody laughed. Chris Curtis seems like a good dude. Chris Curtis also, to his credit, I don't know all the details behind this. You might. Remember when he found one of his Twitter trolls in real life and it was just some fucking goblin of a kid?
Yeah, he walked right up to him. The guy was like, oh, hey, Chris. It was just immediately nice. And Chris like, yeah, this is – people act so shitty online. And then you get face to face. I don't know.
I don't either. But either way, we are both on the Chris Curtis side. $9,100 in DraftKings Fantasy. He's going to need to find that finish. I can't fully jump in on that pricing or the moneyline pricing just yet. I got to see what he looks like at 170 at this age after that many years removed from it. But Chris Curtis should absolutely win this fight. I think he's just a better overall fighter. If you want to check out every single pick, bet, and tool on the website, it's not just Jacob and I. We got Artem, we got BetSam. We have an artificial intelligence. We have a tool that will give you a full breakdown.
We're kind of lucky that Chris didn't get suspended.
For beating the – actually, Chris didn't throw any strikes. Sean Strickland did.
Yeah, but he still stormed the thing and grabbed the guy.
Hey, maybe he was. I was separating him from.
No, he's the one that was in the cage first and went right at the guy and grabbed him. Then Sean came up behind and fucking threw a shot over Chris.
Hey, he's crazy. All because he told Sean to suck it, right? Like something dumb like that. There must have been pre-fight stuff we didn't know.
The biggest thing that came out of that was people were like, "Oh, they're friends again." Look.
Yeah. Either way, if you want to check out everything on the website, do so now. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 for an entire month. We have a $10 super chat from Money Max 702. This dono is from Little Evie Bear. Okay, she lived her fan dream being on UFC Embedded Episode 5 and the We Want Picks vlog. Go become a premium member right now. You can't afford not to. So Money Max, I'm going to take this off the screen. Money Max was in the vlog. He had that adorable dog. Money Max came up, said hi, said amazing things about me and you, Jacob, amazing things to my wife. And Money Max works for one of the largest, I'm going to word this wrong and he's going to get fucking pissed. One of the largest sports bet agencies, I believe, in Vegas, where people do sort of what we do. Like high rollers will will work with professionals to get advice and to get inside information. And Money Max is a premium member, helps use the tools to help give some of that advice. So that dude couldn't have been nicer. I'm sorry, I forget your friend's name. He couldn't have been nicer. Evie Bear, that little cute-ass dog. It was awesome meeting you. Met him. He's in the vlog. If you haven't watched the vlog, go watch the fucking vlog. Damn it. The best part about that, though, Jacob, he was literally talking to Tiffany and was like, I don't think you understand what your husband and Jacob are doing. I don't think you know. They are changing everything they offer. And like, I wish I was recording that. So then at one point, I just stand next to him. I was just looking at Tiffany like, yeah, you listening? And then his buddy's like, you hear him, bitch? it was awesome. It was a ton of fun. So Jacob and I will be at Noche. So if anybody wants to hang out at Noche, give us your Money Max moment.
I'll be in VIP, so won't see most of you.
$1.99 from Unwell to Brrr. I love you guys. I'd be sad as fuck on off weeks. That was last week. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat.
Would you rather have whipped cream or chocolate sauce for foreplay?
Whipped cream. That chocolate sauce is even off. It's like, just, I'm not gonna do the motion. Just,
I think that's the point. It's a little bit dirtier. A little bit.
It's sticky and gross.
Would you rather receive an alert every time your best friend has sex, or they get an alert when you do?
I think give the alert. So it's like, nice, Ange. Yeah.
So Josh Thompson would be sitting there like, oh, Angelo's at it again.
Sure. But you're my best friend, Jacob.
Oh, good catch there. Yeah. You took you a second.
It did not take a second. I knew exactly what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden you knew his name. Isn't that interesting? All of a sudden.
How about his last name isn't even spelled right?
I've asked him about that. I guess it's like the difference between Scottish and, I don't know. There's no P. Okay, here we go.
Did you pop a bottle and open a beer?
I popped a bottle because next Lennon, $1.99, Ange chug a beer for the second super chat. I'm going to chug this beer. You do the promo. Actually, wait. I got to do this one. If you guys want $50, we'll send you $50. We have sportsbook partners that will pay us commission if you use our link. And then if you use the link and we get commission, you'll get $50. You see how that works? It's the circle of love. Okay, so be in the love circle, not the broke back love circle, just the love circle. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. We will get our commission, and then we'll give you $50 as a thank you. Easiest thing you could ever do. All right,
do you know how to chug that right with a tornado?
I'm not. We're just gonna chug it like a man.
No, you spin
I'm not
it like
doing that. I can't do that. Those guys like open their
you
throats.
spin it and then it tornadoes down. That's how you do it. Otherwise, it's gonna go bloop bloop bloop.
That's
Just give it a little spin like this, and then you do it, and it just helps it vortex down.
Okay, you do the premium pitch. I'm gonna try to click next while doing this.
Okay, right when you start chugging, I'm gonna do it. Burger King's Whopper is the biggest in terms of size and amount of ingredients. The burger, known for its generous size and consists of a flame grilled beef patty, sesame seed bun.
The fight simulator will simulate fights 100,000 times and then give you those outputs. And the outputs aren't just a here's who won the fight. The outputs are also how many strikes each fighter lands in those simulations, how many takedowns, how many fantasy points they score. The simulator will also build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you. And as recently as last week, it will build FanDuel fantasy lineups for you. But FanDuel has also been added to some of our other tools. But I did these slides out of order like an idiot. FanDuel is also in the optimizer. Those of you who love building the DraftKings fantasy lineups using our optimizer with the industry first beginner mode can do it now for FanDuel Fantasy. Same beginner mode, same optimizer, same flexibility. We have a tool called the Tape Index. For those of you who like to do your own research, watch the tapes yourself. For those of you who want to see it with your own eyes, hey, was this guy really winning that fight? Was that the right decision? Well, we've got it all lined up for you with the Tape Index. It's one of the many tools we have on the website. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. You'll instantly unlock the Tape Index. You'll instantly unlock the Safety Parlay. You'll instantly unlock the Fight Simulator, the Optimizer, and every single thing that we offer. And you will unlock all of that for an entire month. $10, a whole month. That month includes UFC 318 next week, UFC Abu Dhabi with Robert Whittaker and Renier de Rider, and the Amir Al-Bazi Tatsuro Taira fight card, and of course, this weekend's fight card. Just go to wewantpicks.com, click become a member at the top. And if you want to send some mail for the vlog, Jacob, I have a t-shirt for you and a sick Adrian Yanez card that somebody sent to the mailbox, to the P.O. box for the vlog. And if you want to send something, you want to send a letter, you want to send a troll gift, you want to send, somebody sent us a bag of dicks and a blow-up doll. If you want to send something for the vlog, go to We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078. Sean from Instagram did send a very, honestly, was touching. Did you see that from the vlog?
For Scout?
Yeah. It was like, holy shit. Like, Tiffany cried. I like called her. I was like, Tiff, come look at this. And she literally cried.
Well,
So
she sounds like a real pussy.
You want me to call her in here? You can tell her yourself?
Yeah, get her in here.
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I'm going to deal with it.
Would you rather give up cheese?
No. Whatever the other thing is.
Or give up oral for the rest of your life?
Oral. Cheese is amazing. Yeah, my jaw hurts or whatever the hell that is. And listen, we have a toll-free number. I was playing some of the messages earlier. There's a whole
embarrassing. Listen, you got young kids, your wife, they don't want to see you die. You got to prioritize your health, man. You're getting too fat.
That guy called with weight loss advice. If you want to leave a message, it could be about the actual fights. We released this toll-free number before there were fights, so there were no fight reactions. We did have a couple of fight predictions on the line. But if you want to call in and leave a message predicting fights, giving us life advice, whatever the hell you want, the number is 866.
Oh, here's a good one.
Okay.
Would you rather have your hair pulled or your butt smacked?
Oh, God. Hair pulled or butt smacked? I guess hair pulled.
Why would you answer that?
I don't know, guys. Leave a message. If you have a good... Actually, there was a good would you rather. It was, would you rather date... Oh, what the hell was it? I have it. Hold on. Everybody sit tight. We have a voicemail, would you rather. I think it made that video that I've been playing for. I'm going to search for it. Verna. Okay, here it is. It's, would you rather go on a date with Verna Jandaroba and introduce her to your family or get punched in the balls? No Cup by Francis Ngannou.
Why do people hate Verna? Seems like an awesome fucking person.
I would go on the date before I get my nuts.
Yeah, you said that was an awesome. You had to look that up because you thought it was so
forgot
amazing.
what the second half was. I thought it was or you know.
I'm not going to take any fucking Verna disrespect. That's where I'm going to draw the fucking line, Angelo. So you can sit here and act a fool with your fucking cowboy hat and your fucking jokes and your alcoholic fucking diabetic behavior, passing out and all this fucking clown shit. But the second you fucking disrespect Verna, I'm drawing the fucking line. You understand me?
Would you rather fuck your mom in your wife's body or fuck your wife in your mom's body?
Would you rather fuck your mom? Wait, put that up again?
I don't know why it's women on women. Why is my mom...
Would you rather fuck your mom in your wife's body or your wife in your mom's body? I don't even understand that.
I don't either, but I would rather... I'm not fucking my mom, so I'd rather be my mom. If that's
what
it.
About your stepmom? Get her in here.
That was like, hello? She was the one like, you wear the cowboy hat? Oh. Like cowboy hat?
I mean, the first thing she said to me was, I love that. I love that Miata. I like that Miata.
That's right.
I had one. I love that Miata. It's so, and I think she even said, it's so cute.
She calls it a Mazda MX-7, though, because that's what it was called.
MX-5.
MX-5, which is a much manlier name. For
Mine was literally called an MX-5. It wasn't called a Miata. It's called an MX-5.
Because they rebranded the opposite
She's like,
direction.
it's so cute. I fucking punched her in the throat.
It's my favorite. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the first interaction I had with her. I'm like, who the fuck is this lady?
She loved your car. You'd be mad at that.
Cute. It is so cute.
Jacob took me to Shake Shack in that vehicle.
Shake Shack?
What'd you say? Steak and Shake. That's
you know, the best part about that was I'm like, because obviously it's not a fast car, But when I'm driving around, it's a pretty quick little car. I mean, it's basically like a street legal go-kart. Like 0 to fucking 40, it's going to get up there pretty quickly. But then after that, so I'm like, hey, Angelo, hop in. We'll go to fucking, the second he gets in the goddamn car, his fucking knees and shins are like on the dash. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, this is like, and we didn't know, I mean, we didn't know each other that well at that point. I'm just like, yeah, get in the car. Like, I got a cool car. We'll go get something to fucking eat. And so I'm at the stoplight and I'm trying to like fucking really rip this thing. It's like just gets bogged the fuck down. I'm in first gear, dropping the clutch. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, how much does this guy fucking weigh? It's like I had 15 pounds of concrete in this passenger seat. It's never been slower. It literally felt like I was driving a lawnmower with you in it.
The number one comment, and I'm gonna make people say this on camera next time. The number one comment from everybody was, "You're taller than Jacob says, and you're not as fat as Jacob says."
When do I ever say that you're short?
I don't know. That's just what they say.
You just added that in because I never heard it. You said everyone said that you're not as fat as Jacob says. Now all of a sudden you're just.
They say you're not as fat. I think they say you're taller than I thought. What Tiffany texted you on her own volition.
Yeah, she didn't say anything about being tall.
Oh, they all say you're tall and not fat. And then like, oh, I can see your cock through those shorts. Everybody says it.
Yeah, that's what she said. So the theme statement from everyone we have met this weekend is, oh, you're not as fat as Jacob says you are.
And tall.
But still fat.
Next up, at UFC Nashville, we have the opening card of the evening, opening fight of the main card. We have Junior Tafa taking on Tucos. Junior Tafa, another weight change fight here. He's going down in weight from heavyweight to light heavyweight. He lost the weight, and honestly, this is a fight where I contemplating changing my pick earlier today. Because Junior Tafa went from like, I'm not going to say he was like, whatever. I'm not going to say he was like a fat, sloppy mess, but he was definitely like a little jiggly, a little soft, and he wasn't a disaster, but he certainly could have lost the weight. And he did lose the weight, and he looks really good. Like, he looks really good physically. He's 2-3 in his last 5, and that is why he is moving down in weight. He's taking on Tucos, 3-2 in his last 5. He's looking for his first ever UFC win, and that piece of all this does complicate a little bit. If we go to the Junior Tafa side, you might recognize that last name. He's Justin Tafa's younger brother, but instead of short and stocky with giant legs, he's tall, he's lean, but he's still a good kickboxer. He'll fight that distance fight. He will land with some power. He's got good footwork. He can engage. He has pretty good power as well, similar to his brother. Not amazing, but for his size, it is there. His issue is his takedown defense. And you know what? At heavyweight, maybe it was a different problem than it is here at light heavyweight, but we're going to find out because he's taking on Tucos. This guy's name is actually George, not Tuco. He is a grappler, and that is who he is at his core. He has obviously expanded those skills. He's striking a little more than he did in the beginning. He likes to wait for you to commit, so he's going to wait for you to plant your feet, throw heavy, then he's going to lower his level and shoot a takedown. He doesn't just immediately rush and push you against the cage. He's got good enough cardio, no power whatsoever, which is a problem. Pretty good game plan that has worked for him on the regional scene, but he hasn't found that success quite yet at the UFC level. He's coming off that loss to Navajo Sterling, where he had 3 takedowns. And I am going to use that fight for this fight because Navajo is a better striker, a better athlete. Is Navajo who they said he was going to be? No. Is he better than Junior Tafa? Yes, I do think he is. And Tuco did have some success getting that fight to the ground. And I think Junior is just wildly useless on the ground. It's his first weight cut to this new weight class. And maybe he did it right and he's going to look unbelievable. Or maybe he's going to be even more tired than he was. He's going to be even more exhausted than he was. He might slow down a little bit. I am actually going to pick Tuco here. I have had some reservations seeing how good Junior physically looks on Instagram, but Tuco's going to be the pick because if he gets it to the ground, he's got such good control. You're not just popping right back up, and he can grind this win out. Tuco's going to be the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, congratulations on like dropping weight and getting abs, but you probably didn't improve your takedown defense. I mean, Junior Tafa is just not a very good fighter. Does he have power? Can he knock people out? Of course. We saw that with Parker Porter. It's what he's known for. If he comes in and sleeps Tuco, I'm not going to be crazy surprised. But the guy isn't a mixed martial artist. He loses to Muhammad Usman, loses to Rogerio de Lima, gets smoked by Valter Walker. A guy comes in on 4 days' notice, not a UFC level fighter, and literally Junior Tafa gets taken down, and the bell. See, he literally Homer Simpson his way to a win in his last fight. Now I understand it was heavyweight and all this stuff, but the bell saved his life. 30 seconds ago, the guy just turtled up on the fence getting his brains beat in, and the guy on 4-day notice couldn't fucking catch his breath. And even in that fight, we saw Junior Tafa fucking in the second round. They were both just staring at each other. Just fucking staring at each other. This guy is not a mixed martial artist. If he knocks this guy out, he knocks him out. But Tuco is, I don't know why people think this guy's fucking terrible. He showed in the last fight he can get takedowns. He showed in his last fight he can take a few shots. He's at Kill Cliff. That's a real fucking gym against real fucking people that he trains with. He knows at least how to shoot a decent takedown. And if you get a decent takedown, Junior Tafa is not fucking going anywhere. This guy is not going anywhere. So unless he can defend a takedown, which his idea of defending a takedown is just give up a single leg and then try to like kick out of it. Good luck against the two of those heavyweights. Yeah, they may not be able to run you down, right, because they're a little bit sloppy. Tuco's going to be a little bit more athletic. If you grabs a single and you're just trying to kick out of it, he's probably just going to trip you. You're going to fall down and you're not going to get back up. I think the value here is on Tuco. There's a reason why people are all over Junior, but he's not fucking minus 300 that people think he is. People are talking like Tuco is just going to, and maybe it happens. Maybe it happens. I don't fucking know. I'm not betting this fight, so I don't really give a fuck. But I'm betting Tuco because he's an actual mixed martial artist. Junior Tafa is just going to be looking for big uppercuts to stop the takedowns. And the second he gets taken down, he basically fucking quit last fight. So he's probably going to fucking quit again. I'll get Tuco.
Yeah, I did not bet on this fight. We're on the same side, but this is where the spectrum is interesting because Jacob's far more confident in Tuco. Obviously, you see the one outcome there.
I'm not confident in him at all.
You said you'd bet on him.
I said I didn't bet this fight at all, so I don't give a fuck.
Oh, I thought you said oh, my bad. That's on me. Hey, that's on me. Listen, we're on the same side here, and the takedown defense is the problem. When I watch these fights live in front of this computer and I can take notes, I do that. And I like to look at those notes first before I do anything while breaking down their next fight. My notes for Junior Tafa were terrible and fat or some shit like that. So he got rid of the fat. I don't know if he got rid of the terrible Tuco.
I mean, he's not even like a dynamic striker. He's just flat-footed, just winging shit. I mean, he's just trying to – it's not like he's in there fucking bobbing and weaving with footwork and fucking combinations and fucking setting shit up. He's fucking sitting there. I guarantee he just sits there with his hands low because he's scared of the fucking takedown. He's going to back up against the fence like a Tafa and just wait to fucking throw an uppercut. If he lands it like Parker, he's going to sleep the guy. And if he doesn't, he's probably going to get taken down.
Didn't Parker look good in that fight too until he ate that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I just know that the second he literally just sat on the uppercut and it was like the most predictable thing ever. And maybe it happens again, but I think he just faint the takedown. Junior will fucking go off balance and then he fucking shoot it. Yeah. Just fucking give him one of these and he's gonna fucking. That's all you got to do. He's gonna be scared to death of the takedown.
I mean, that is a solid game plan. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you just back. I mean, he's going to back up because they think, even if the takedown's there, I can use the fence to try and help defend it. That's what the Tafas do. His brother's just so goddamn thick. He can actually do it. Yeah, you can just fucking do it. Now this guy, without the weight, thinks he's a fucking athlete now, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. There's too many questions for me to actually put money on this. But if you do want to check out every other bet that we have, we've got a shit ton for this event and UFC 318 and UFC 319. Check out all the bets, current and future, right now at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become Member. It's $10. It's $10. Unlock every single bet, every single pick, every single tool. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Couple of Super Chatterooskies, $4.99 from Flacco. I am going to UFC Nashville. What's the best spot to eat in Nashville?
Waffle House.
Listen, I've been to Nashville twice, and I don't think I ate at anywhere like famous, but you got to get yourself some hot chicken. Now, I wouldn't get the hot chicken before the fights because you'll diarrhea, but definitely at some point get some hot chicken. It is good. It is fucking hot, but I do love a good Nashville hot chicken sandwich. That's the way to go. I love that every time. Will said Angelo is starring in a spaghetti Western. Will, I'm probably the only. Do you know what a spaghetti western is, Jacob?
No.
I'm the only person, Will, who gets this joke. Solid joke. I appreciate it. Nobody gets it. I don't know when it was. Was it the 90s or the late 80s? It was too expensive to film westerns in America, so they started filming them in Italy. So they were just these low-budget, shitty westerns, and they called them spaghetti westerns. Very racist, honestly. Next up, at UFC Nashville, we have another weight class change. This is the third fight on this card where a fighter is either moving up or down in weight to find success. And Vitor Petrino is the latest. He is going up to heavyweight from light heavyweight after a 2-fight skid where he's been finished in back-to-back losses. Vitor Petrino is 3-2 in those last 5. And as I mentioned, coming off back-to-back losses, taking on Austen Lane. 1-3-1 in his last 5. He's coming off a knockout loss of his own. The reality is Vitor Petrino is a physical specimen. He's an athlete. He's fast. He's powerful. He's got a good left hook. He can shoot takedowns. He can do a lot of things. Vitor Petrino is very, very good. What he doesn't seem to be, though, is a killer. He doesn't seem to have that killer instinct. He was winning his last fight, in my opinion, against Njokuani. The scorecards were 1-1 going into the third. He was winning that third. He got a little too confident, got a little too excited, ran into a big shot, got knocked out. The loss before that was the submission loss when he was undefeated. He shot a takedown because Anthony Smith was dotting up his legs. He shot a takedown. Anthony Smith guillotined him. You could categorize both of those losses as flukes. Right? One fight he was winning, got a little too aggressive, got cracked. The other fight, shot a takedown.
What the hell are you fucking talking about? Flukes. The calf kick set up him to panic shoot into a guillotine, and then Dustin Jacoby set up a nice fucking fade right hand straight down the fucking pipe.
Dustin's like, you know what? Let me keep this closer than it should be all the way to the third. And then when he gets confident.
Yeah, anytime somebody gets finished in the third, it's a fluke.
Yeah, no, let me set up.
Get a fucking grip on life,
Let me
Angelo.
set up a big.
Have a fucking nother.
I'm going to let this dude be 1 minute away from winning a decision, and then I'll get him. Shut the fuck up.
Every knockout's a fluke, guys.
Shut the fuck up. He's taking on Austen Lane. He should be able to knock out Austen Lane, okay? There's that. Austin's a former NFL player, turned into a grappler because he doesn't have much of a chin. He's just massive, uses his side. If Vitor Petrino can stay away from just being big, then he can knock out Austen Lane. Vitor's going to be the pick. You can't. These odds are fucking atrocious. You can't touch this fight. Jacob, what are your thoughts? Found Jacob's burner. Jay, you fucking fat bitch.
Sorry, Jay. I mean, we try to keep this professional, like I say, and treat everyone right. I'm sure Jay's probably a premium member, and we appreciate his membership.
He's not a premium member. If he was a premium member, he'd know how fucking good I am, and he wouldn't call me a bitch or a clown or whatever the fuck he said. Hey, Jacob, who do you think wins this fight?
Fucking Vitor Petrino should probably win the fight. He is probably the better mixed martial artist, and I mentioned in my quick pick video, there's a difference between winners and fucking losers. And I even saw a comment today on my quick pick video.
You for this, yeah. Okay, I was agreeing with you, but yeah, sorry.
You want to keep jumping in?
You just fucking did it with me with Vitor, you shit stain. Fucking skid mark. Go ahead. I'll stop.
Yeah, I wish that heart would stop sometimes. But then start right back up just to give you a little scare, right? We don't want you dead, but we'd like to back you down a little bit.
Yeah, just I don't want you dead. I just want some equipment installed so that it can turn you back on.
And give me the fucking on-off switch for that fucking pacemaker. Just like let's sit here during the stream and fucking just flip it on and off. Oh God. Like the shot call. I made a joke on Twitter to put shot. I made a joke on Twitter that we should put shot collars on. This is how fucking retarded people are. And just don't understand anything. It's unbelievable how fucking retarded people are. I put a tweet out with, I think it was quote tweeted the stoppage. I think it was the Ilya Charles stoppage. And I literally said, we should put shock collars on fighters and the ref controls the collars. That way when there's a knockdown, the ref can hit the shock on the collar and there's no follow-up shots on the fighters. shot collars on fighters in the octagon. And I got about 10, 15 people on Twitter talking about, I don't know if that would work, Jacob, because, what if there's like what if you don't know if there's actually a stoppage, and I'm not sure. You're telling me the ref, what would you do in an eye poke situation? Are you hitting the shot collar? It was a fucking joke. Are you fucking serious? I could not believe some of those fucking replies I got on the tweet about putting shot collars on fucking fighters, and people are like, I don't know if that would work, Jacob. Oh, bullshit. You don't think so? Oh, Billy. Back to this fight. Vitor Petrino, there's a difference between winners and losers, and people that want to fucking win and people that just want to fucking show up and get fucking paychecks. Vitor Petrino, as Angelo mentioned, is not a fucking killer. The guy gets panicked into a fucking guillotine after that fight. Watch the tape. He's laughing. He's smiling. Fuck, that's fine. Your first loss, you don't really know how to react. Get back in the gym, hit it hard. Comes into that next fight. Remember, this guy's supposed to be the next big thing, the next big prospect. Looks the part, the muscles, the Brazilian, the big power, working on the grab, and you're like, oh my God. Comes in against Dustin Jacoby, gets fucking slapped. I'm sitting there. I'm at the fights. UFC Tampa. I'm sitting there watching this guy walk through the fucking tunnel right past me. Row 2, VIP, sitting there. And what's this guy doing? I would expect, after back-to-back losses, when you're supposed to be the next big guy, the next big prospect, you'd be a little bit fucking disappointed in yourself. I'm a competitor, Angelo. You're a competitor. I lose at fucking the yard games we play, and it basically ruins my fucking day.
Yeah.
It ruins my fucking day. I can't stay. If I play fucking I played cards last weekend, played rummy, lost twice, and I couldn't think of, that's all I thought about the rest of the night. How can I get better at rummy? If I was a fucking fighter and I lost back-to-back rounds, I would be fucking devastated. I expected this guy to come in, head hanging like, fuck, man. This guy was walking towards people, high-fiving people, having a good time, smiling, laughing. Fuck that mentality, man. I sat there and watched Austen Lane take in a big fucking prospect in his last fight, hurt him in that first round. Second round started, he went right the fuck after this guy. I watched him win a fight with his son in the crowd, and he was saying, I'm doing it for my son. I want to be an example for my fucking son. It's the difference in fucking mentality. Vitor should win this fight. He is the better prospect. Austen Lane is a chinny guy that doesn't react well to power. I'm fucking picking Austen Lane because he fucking gives a fuck, and he's actually gonna give a fuck in this fight. And I am here to support fucking winners, and Vitor Petrino is a fucking loser with that loser fucking mentality, and I hope he loses again. Give me Austen Lane as a dog, plus 500 to land a big shot, get a takedown, and fucking TKO this guy through the fucking ground in front of the fucking Nashville fans. The place will go crazy. We'll see if it happens, but I'm picking Austen Lane, but you probably shouldn't pick Austen Lane.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't think Austen's going to get it done. I just think he's a little too chinny, and I don't know what Vitor's going to look like at heavyweight. Maybe heavyweight will suit him well. Maybe all of a sudden he will have that power. He'll be more comfortable, but he just got tired. He's like, oh, well, I'm not a prospect anymore. I don't want to cut it weight anymore. I'm just going to show up and collect checks and see if I can win. That's what that is. That wasn't, I'm going to buckle down and reinvent myself. He was like, if I'm going to do this, fuck cutting weight. I'm just going to show up and fight some people. And I was going to say, what he seems to be doing is moving up to try to find success. These people are easier. Yeah, Jacob, please stop yelling. Heavyweight is an easier weight class, so I should have more success there is what it feels like he's doing. So I don't think it's necessarily going to work.
And the comment today was like, so Jacob is basically just picking against this guy because he wasn't in a bad mood after. Yes.
He didn't cry on his way out.
Yes, that's exactly right. Because I hate that fucking mentality. Either you want to fucking win or you don't. And Austen Lane, I know, wants to fucking win, and Vitor doesn't give a fuck.
All right, listen, I don't disagree with any of that sentiment. I think Vitor wins. I think he connects. I think he has the power. Austen has had a lot of physical gifts, and then he's missing some other pieces like a chin. So I think Vitor wins for those reasons, but I don't disagree with the mentality of it. That guy was pretty pissed at you for caring too much about how Austen reacted to a loss. But the reality is that matters a lot. Like, that matters a lot. So I get what you're saying. Vitor Petrino is my pick. Austen Lane is Jacob's pick. And if you want to throw a couple of bucks at DraftKings Fantasy, $9,600 is a lot of money to spend, but Austen has been knocked out in every single one of those losses. You can check out every single pick.
That last one was that was pretty bad too. I mean, that was one of those eye-open, just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Laying on his.
Well, and I imagine he's been hit a bunch of times in his NFL career. Like, the dude went through it. So Vitor should be able to find that knockout, but let's say he went up in weight and actually gained weight. Instead of being like, I'm not going to cut, I'm just going to stay who I am, like Frankie Edgar. Let's say he actually gained weight and went up. He might be a little slow. Like, things might be a little dicey here. We had a couple of chats. Art of Control said he became a premium member. Welcome. We appreciate you. And then obviously Minty did googly eyes at Vitor because he is quite handsome. Minty gave me, Tiffany and I, phenomenal food advice in Vegas. She said, we saw her at UFC X and said, where should we eat tonight? Because you know how women are. They need a full meal. And she said, go to.
Wait, whoa. You are
You and I,
critiquing.
no. Fuck. You and I did Vegas together. I don't need a fucking meal. I'll eat a slice of this, a slice of that, and a bag of chips and go to bed. Fuck you.
We
Nice
sat
try.
at breakfast one day for 2 hours. You ate the entire time.
That doesn't sound about right. What was funny is Minty did recommend about 7 Asian places. We're like, where should we go? And every single one of them was Asian. But the tip that she gave,
I mean, can we pick another race to be racist against Angelo?
I'm not being
First
racist.
it was the Mexicans, then it was the blacks.
I'm
then it's-
embracing the Mexicans. What are you talking about? But I said, like, where should we go? Like, blah, blah. Tiffany's like, I want a good meal. She recommended World Resorts or Resorts World, sorry.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we
I've heard of
went.
that.
Have you been there?
No, I've never fucking been there. I don't eat anywhere. I don't go on vacation fucking eat anywhere. I don't eat anything.
Well, Resorts World isn't just restaurants. It's basically like the nicest mall you've ever been in with a casino hotel attached and a bunch of nice restaurants. It was unbelievable. If you watch the vlog, I met Corey Sandhagen. He was the only fighter I actually talked to other than Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson and I were both.
He looked excited to talk to you.
So I went to Resorts World off the Minty tip for dinner, and he was just sitting in the lobby. Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody was looking at him. He was just sitting there, like, hanging out.
Just being a person. The way you describe it, it's like, that's so crazy. He was
Because
just fucking, he was just existing.
Because you know how it is in Vegas on a fight week. If he was at New York, or anywhere near the Strip, or anywhere near the weigh-ins,
There'd be like 7 people that would come and be like, hey,
dude,
Corey.
he would have been mobbed. Everybody was
mobbed?
Oh, my God, this fucking guy in a mood. Him and Bobby.
You know what's
Bobby
funny about the
Tuco.
Vitor lookalike? Obviously, I'm friends with a lot of people at the Factory X, and when he was preparing the Dustin Jacoby was preparing for Vitor, I messaged Brundage, and I was like, listen, this is a tough matchup. If you need a tall, dark, good-looking dude to kind of get Dustin ready for what he's going to see in that octagon, I will come to Colorado, and I will do that for him. I will stand across the octagon from him because it can be, I mean, he is a good-looking dude, and I've seen it in person.
Polarizing.
I mean, it gives you a little bit of a shock. You think you've seen it, Minty. I don't know if, I can't remember if I don't think he's fought at the Apex before, but when you see it in person, it really does hit a little. It's even better in person. So I was like, I just didn't want Jacoby to be kind of shell shocked in there. So I did offer to go in there and kind of mimic Vitor because I think we're similar.
In a lot of ways, you both would get slept and submitted inside the octagon almost effortlessly. Next up, effortlessly. That was the microphone messing up. Next up, at UFC Nashville, we have Nate the Train taking on Morgan Charriere. Nate the Train Landwehr, 3-2 in his last 5 years, coming off that finish loss to the Korean Superboy. Taking on Morgan Charriere, also 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off a decision loss to Nathaniel Wood. This is a tricky fight to break down, and I don't normally care about flags. And you know what? I'm going to care about flags a little bit here because
this is the Omar Sy.
The French have been letting us down. It's not just Omar Sy. Kevin Giussette let us down.
They showed up and helped us win the revolution.
William Gomez let us down. The
You're not.
French-
You're speaking non-British English right now because of the French.
Well, thanks for that. Gonna need you to step it up on this side.
And you
because
love baguettes because you're a.
I do love. Oh, you know what my favorite movie?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I got it. My favorite. Speaking of, in by Nebraska Furniture Mart in the Colony in Texas, there's a place called Bread Zeppelin where they take a French baguette, they run it through a toaster, then they suck out the middle and they put a whole ass salad inside of it, and then you eat the salad in the sandwich. It's unbelievable.
We've talked about that. I don't know how many times.
You
An
mentioned French
ungodly
baguette,
amount of times.
Bang. I know. And we have new viewers every week. Listen, my concern with this fight is that Morgan is the better. He's just the better fighter, right? He's faster. He's more powerful. He's more technical. He has better striking. Morgan is the better fighter everywhere. Every single aspect of MMA, Morgan is the better fighter. But he doesn't have that good old American grit and determination. And that's where Nate Landwehr comes in. This guy's a wild man. He's just American. He is every stereotype that other countries have of America except fat. All the others, he's wild. He's aggressive. He's violent for no reason.
And just so I just want to hold on a second because I want to make sure that we're really clear on this, that you are talking about a good old boy white guy beating this black gentleman, but it's because he's French, not because he's black.
I'm picking Morgan to win. I've picked Morgan to win in two previous videos, and I'm picking him to win here. I was going on to say Morgan is a better MMA fighter across the board, but Nate Landwehr is an animal. He's just an animal. And if you said, Angelo, what's Nate better at than Morgan? Not skill-wise, there's nothing. If they were a video game and every skill had a bar, there's not one bar of Nate's that's farther. Except he is just an animal, and he comes forward like an animal, and he'll fight like an animal. But watching him get finished by Doo Ho Choi, it's like, all right, he's probably gotten to the point in his career where just being insanely grinding and tough has meet it's at the max. It's at the limit. Morgan should win this fight. He's a better fighter across the board. My one and only concern is the French have been letting us down because they don't have what Nate Landwehr has, just the willingness to engage in a fight for no fucking reason whatsoever. We are aggressive people. Australians are aggressive people because that was like a prison for the UK. For like, there are certain countries.
Australians are like the most laid-back people. Jack Della Maddalena is like the most laid-back guy in the world.
They were built off of aggression because they were quite literally a floating prison or a continent of a prison. And so generations
Where
of
do you
prison.
learn your history?
I'm going to look this up while you're talking. I'm going to fucking shove it down your throat like a glizzy. The reality is Nate Landwehr is tough. He will grind. He'll fight as hard as he can, but Morgan is the better fighter across the board. Morgan is going to be the pick. I just wish we were getting Morgan at some better odds here because I did watch him get dropped by itty-bitty Nathaniel Wood in his last fight, but Morgan's the pick, and I'm pretty confident in that. What do you think, Jacob?
Okay. Nate Landwehr against Ludovic Kline, plus 300.
The British were sending people to Australia that were supposed to be prisoners from 1788 to 1868.
Nate Landwehr.
Oh, shit.
Against David Onama. Look at that big-ass bag. Oh, my God. Look at that big-ass fucking bag. Holy shit. Did you see the fucking size of that thing? Did you see the waddle on that thing? Have you ever watched Planet Earth and watched the fucking king penguins waddling around Antarctica? Just fucking... And then all of a sudden you see that big-ass motherfucker. That big-ass fucking king penguin. Like, you think these are big penguins? And then you see that pig, you're like, oh my God. Look at the size of that fucking waddling fucking penguin. Just fucking side to side. Most of them are here nice and tight with the waddle. Watch when he comes back. Hey, you guy! Nate Landwehr against Jamal Emmers. Plus 375. This guy has built millionaires off of being an underdog in the UFC. And now you're telling me that we got this guy Morgan Charriere, the Frenchie, that, by the way, has never won a UFC fight outside of fucking Paris, came in.
Wait, is that true? Is that true?
No, I'm just fucking making shit up, Angelo.
Well,
Came into the fucking Vegas Apex against my lock of the week, Cheppy. Similar skill set, but a little bit more refined than Nate Landwehr. Got fucking smoked. People are being like, "Oh my god, Morgan won that fight." What fucking world, people? Cheppy out controlled him over half the first round, outlanded him in the first round, outstruck him 23-6 in the third round, smoked this fucking guy. Then, who was on Morgan going into that Nathaniel Wood fight? Very high on Morgan. My retard ass. Because I said this guy is big, he's powerful, Wood's a little bit chinny. Guess who got sat down? Morgan Charriere. Guess who fucking froze in that fight after getting sat down? Morgan fucking Charriere. Now you got this guy, the Frenchie, coming into the hometown of Nate the Train, a Tennessee boy fighting in Tennessee for the heart of America a week after the 4th of fucking July. What's this guy Morgan Charriere gonna do when halfway through the first fucking round, Nate Landwehr's in this fucking dude's face, walking him down, and he starts hearing, USA, 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 USA. This guy's gonna shit his fucking pants and piss all over that fucking octagon. And this guy, Nate Landwehr's gonna get so juiced up, smiling, might even come out with a Hulk Hogan razor blade, cut his own fucking eyebrow, start smearing his fucking blood around his face, walking this guy down. This guy can't match the pace, pressure, tenacity, or American spirit that Nate the fucking Train Landwehr is going to bring in this fight. He is going to break the fucking Frenchie in the second round, come out of here with a fucking TKO or submission win, and we're gonna get the greatest post-fight speech we've ever heard in our fucking lives. Hey, Nashville, take a look at this bicep, baby. Nate the Train gets it done. Morgan's the better fighter, though, but Nate's going to win.
All right, listen, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll be rooting for Nate, America. Dude, you don't like live that ranch life and not root for an American. So I'll be rooting for Nate.
And people are going to say like but he looked terrible in the Choi fight. I was very high on Choi in that fight. And I'm one of the only ones that predicted that Choi was going to use wrestling and grappling. I think that surprised Nate a little bit in that fight. He expected more of like a back and forth striking match, and I think Choi would smoke Morgan too. Choi's fucking really good. I mean, his boxing's fucking really fucking crisp, and now he's mixed in the wrestling and grappling as well. So yeah, he looked terrible. Morgan is the better fighter, but I mean, Nate's my fucking dude. One of my favorite lock of the weeks of all time. I gotta stick with my boy one more time.
Listen, I hear you, and if you're on the Nate side, then go for it. The one issue I saw was that Morgan did get dropped by Nathaniel Wood, and I fully recognize that Nathaniel Wood is a very good striker. I get it.
Yeah, that was speed over power for sure.
Correct. And Nate is just going to come in a little wild, a little sloppy, a little loose, so I don't see that happening again. That's the only real reason that it's like Morgan should be good here. This should be a really good fight. It's on the main card for a reason. Frankly, Chris Curtis should be on the main card right now, but yes, you, small, red. He must have one of those viruses from the websites he goes to. I think he froze. Did you click? That was solid advice. And here's some other solid advice.
Here's what I'll say before you do the transition. You'll know the level of panic Morgan has in this fight of how early he shoots a takedown. If he fucking shoots a takedown in the first 2 minutes of this fight, because he's fucking that place is gonna go fucking crazy for Nate Landwehr. That place is gonna go fucking crazy for Nate Landwehr, and Nate Landwehr is going to be in his face off the start. And if Morgan is shooting a takedown in the first 2 minutes of this fight, that means he is fucking panicking already. And if he does not fucking get it, this fight is fucking over.
I don't disagree with you. I think that's a great, nice little tidbit there at the end. I do not disagree because Morgan should be the better striker. So if he's shooting takedowns, that means he doesn't like how the striking is going. And a desperate takedown attempt is never a good takedown attempt. So this should be a very fun fight to watch. I'm looking forward to it. And if you want to have a little action, you want to see what the boys are doing with their money, just go to WeWantPicks.com, click become a member. It's $10 for an entire month's worth of access. You'll get every pick, every bet, every tool, and it just helps support your boys.
This guy's lost 11 fucking times.
A lot of them are bullshit or close decisions, though. But I hear you. He's also 120, but
I mean, Nate was an M1 fucking champion. It's a legit organization.
Listen, guys, I mentioned tools. We got a lot of tools. Some of them do work for you. Some of them are just a convenience in life. And if you're like me and you work on a ranch, you value your time. Every hour counts, especially when the sun is only up for a small period of time. And if you value your time, use the tape.
Do you agree or disagree with daylight savings?
I don't think it has its place anymore. And being on a ranch right now, this is an animal ranch, not a food ranch.
Because that was put in for farmers.
Yes, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I get it.
So are you for it or against it?
It's an animal. This is an animal ranch, not a food ranch.
Animals are food, Angelo. Fucking retard.
That's a good point. But they don't.
How about chug another beer real quick if you're actually a man about it?
I've only got one left. I brought 8 down, and actually, you want to know something about these fucking beers? Can you see that? Wait, hold on. There it is. Shit expired in May.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have diarrhea.
Stand up and show your fucking vagina, for God's sake. A beer's expired 2 months ago? What the fuck? You've never drank fucking beer that's been expired for fucking 2 or 3 years? Have you never fucking been 19 years old before? 2 months expired? Grow a fucking sack.
I'm fucking drinking them, dude. Dude. I'm fucking drinking them. Next up, at UFC Nashville, it should be the co-main event of the evening, but instead it's the featured fight of the evening. We have Calvin Kattar taking on Steve Garcia. Calvin Kattar, a gentleman who is only 1-4 in his last 5. He is looking for his first win in 3 full years. He's taking on Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia is not only on a 5-fight win streak, it is a 5-fight knockout win streak, which is got to be some sort of UFC record. We have a clash of styles here. We have Calvin Kattar, a long, rangy striker who does a great job being technical. His hands are always where they're supposed to be. He does a great job managing distance. He'll enter that pocket when he needs to. He's fast. He's accurate. He is clean. He's getting a little older. He's slowing down, but he is still a very good, very high-level, clean boxer. His takedown defense is at a solid 77%, and he did just defend 8 of Yusuf Zalal's takedown attempts in his last fight. He's taking on Steve Garcia. Steve has made a name for himself recently with those 5 knockout wins, and 4 of those 5 were just sheer violence on the feet. One of them was ground and pound. And the reality is, though, he can grapple as well. He's going to come forward. He's going to get in your face. He'll rip you to the ground. He'll work there as well. He can get himself into some trouble, though, because he's a little too aggressive at times. And I imagine that will only be exacerbated here, considering how much success he has been having as of late. Steve Garcia is a great fighter who's been flying under the radar, and this is going to be a really tricky fight. We're going to find out how good Steve Garcia is or is not in this fight, because while Steve is younger and more dangerous, Calvin Kattar is the more technical striker, the better overall striker, the cleaner striker. And if Steve comes in here thinking he's just going to rip Calvin's head off almost immediately, then why is everybody doing ones in the chats? Did you tell him to do ones in the chat for some shit?
Who agrees Angelo's head too small for his head? Press 1.
It's not too small for my head.
Yeah. Your head's too big for the fucking hat.
Well, this is a sombrero. That's an Idaho hat.
That's not a fucking sombrero.
This sombrero.
No.
Idaho. Hola. Hey. I'm picking Steve Garcia because I think he can have the power and then go to the wrestling. I think Steve Garcia can grind can push, can get this to the ground. My real concern here, though, is that Steve Garcia might be eating his own dog food, drinking his own champagne, and celebrating his own success with all of these finish wins. He's not going to finish Calvin Kattar. So we're going to have a very interesting situation here. This round line is 1.5 rounds, and that's insane. Jacob, what do you think about this fight?
I mean, this honestly could be one of those. I mean, you can only be tough for so long. And I know that Calvin is a fucking tough son of a bitch, but even the toughest guys, we saw it happen to Max Holloway as well. There's at a certain point, you just fucking, things just fucking crack, right? I mean, that chair you're sitting at, I'm surprised is not fucking cracked at this point. I mean, that stuff is, I hate to say, but the American-made stuff is not as good as it used to be, and I'm sure that being in Idaho, that's an American-made chair, and I'm just surprised that it's lasted this long. Just like, I mean, Calvin's chin, I'm surprised that it's lasted this long with some of the beatings that he's took. This is definitely a much different fight than the Yusuf Zalal fight. It probably favors a guy like Calvin a little bit more, but I agree. I need to see it a little bit more from Steve before I bet him, because this does feel like a little bit of trap line. Going into this fight, coming off, 4 or 5 straight finish wins, you would think Steve Garcia would be a -200, -250 favorite against a guy like Calvin, who's 1-4 in his last 5. That just shows the level of competition that Calvin's been against and how he's kind of performed and been tough in those fights. I mean, you're looking at, he's beat Desmond Torres, I mean, Charlie Ontiveros, Chase Hooper before he was actually kind of a Chase Hooper, Shylon. Milk Coast is a pretty good fight, but Milk kind of gassed himself out grappling heavy in that first round. And then Sang-Woo Choi is a chinny guy who's just going to stand and bang. And then a guy like Kyle Nelson. So big step up. I'm not betting Steve yet. If people are, I get it. He's a more dangerous fighter. But if this fight extends, you really don't know what's going to happen. And Calvin is he's a good fighter. I mean, he's a fucking good fighter. So I'm going to wait and see. But my pick's going to be Steve. But I'll wait and see to bet, because it just feels like this hovering around the -120 feels weird.
I listen, great take, Jacob. Great take. I agree with you, because look at the opening odds, -210. That sharply got bet the other direction. And I get it. And there's a lot of rightful respect here for Calvin, because if Steve Garcia was that -210, I would be doing a typical Angelo, like, hey, this could happen, he should win. But, like, we can't just ignore what Calvin has done. If you look at Calvin's fight history, let's look at these stats. His striking differential is negative. That's because of Max Holloway. This dude fought Max Holloway when he was like the best, before Max Holloway started to slow down a little bit and get hit too much. Max Holloway landed like 200, some astonishing number of strikes, but the level of competition that these two have fought are not the same. They are sort of, heading down different trajectories. Steve Garcia, 5-fight knockout streak. Calvin Kattar struggling to find. It
seems like the books are pretty comfortable taking all the Steve Garcia money at -120.
I do not disagree with you whatsoever. I'm going to pick Steve. I do not have a bet on this fight. I likely don't have a bet on this fight unless you want to mess with the round line, because 1.5 rounds seems wrong. That just seems wrong, because Steve isn't like, obviously he's been finishing people, but he hasn't finished anybody as good or as durable as Calvin. And a couple of those finishes are on the ground. The Mel Costa one, that was ground and pound. And like Jacob said, when he beat Chase Hooper, like that was boy Chase. That wasn't full-grown man Chase. That was a boy.
That was featherweight Chase. Now we got lightweight Chase, baby. Yeah.
Very different. So this is a very interesting fight. It's a telling fight, and it matters very much for this division, which is why it should be the co-main event, even though it isn't. But if you do want to see every other bet that we have, including, what'd you say?
You think this should be the co-main event?
This is a more meaningful fight than the Wonder Boy fight is. No? What should be the co-main event then?
Probably the Nate Landwehr fight, honestly.
Or Chris Curtis.
Not the Chris Curtis fight. Chris Curtis fights are pretty fucking boring. Nate Landwehr fight is going to be fucking violence.
Yeah, but to me, the co-main event isn't excitement. It's matters for the division. Featured fights.
What a retarded take.
Okay. Listen, Art of Control says the tape index is so clutch. Tape index is just one of many tools that we offer. It's $10 for an entire month. If you go to WeWantPicks.com and you click become a member, you spend $10. It's fucking $10. 10. Okay? 10. These expired beers were more than 10. You instantly have access to every single bet, every single pick, every single tool, the artificial intelligence, the fight simulator. It's fucking insane. $10, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Unlock it. You hate it. Cancel. Very simple. Next up, at UFC Nashville, we have the co-main event of the evening. We have Wonderboy Thompson taking on Gabriel Bonfim. And we have a fight with some odds that have been yo-yoing quite a bit. Not that we've seen Steven as a favorite, but these odds have tightened and widened as the week has gone on. We got Wonderboy Thompson at 1-4 in his last 5. He is coming off that finish loss to Joaquin Buckley, but that was a fight that he was winning. He's taking on Gabriel Bonfim, 4-1 in his last 5. He's on a 2-fight win streak. And this is going to be, I think, a pretty straightforward fight. Wonderboy, we've broken him down many, many times before. He's got that long karate style, his in and out movement, the range, the striking style, frustrates the shit out of people. He's had a ton of success. He's just fighting at an incredibly high level for a very long time, and he does not look his age. This motherfucker is 42 years old, looking like he's 26 years old. Nicest guy in the division, one of the most frustrating guys to fight and deal with and manage the range, but also a guy that has not evolved with the sport and hasn't quite gotten the grappling defense under control. He's taking on Gabriel Bonfim, solid striker, high-level boxing, very aggressive guy. He's got solid BJJ, good credentials as well. He's well-rounded, and despite being sort of more patient than his brother, this guy's got all finish wins except one, 18 fights, 1 decision. He looks to strike early, then he'll transition to wrestling if the striking is not going his way, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. His last fight, he had an unbelievably well-timed takedown when Chaos Williams threw a little too hard, a little too heavy. He lowered his level, bang, shot right through it. I think he's going to get frustrated with the Wonderboy style. I think he's going to get annoyed, and he's just going to shoot some takedowns. We've seen a lot of people be able to just take down Wonderboy and grind him out. We're going to get more of the same here. Bonfim is the pick, and I am surprised on this fight card with multiple 600, 700, 1,400 favorites, 900 favorites, that Gabriel Bonfim's chilling at minus 355. I think he gets it done, and I think he goes to the wrestling within the first 4 minutes. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, this feels like it should be pretty cut and dry, but we've seen kind of Wonderboy fights before where it feels like somebody should win, and then they get in there with them, and then it's like, oh, they don't know what to do with this striking because you can't really train for it, right? I mean, once you get in there and you start experiencing it, the karate style, the side kicks, the way that he can lunge into shots. So I do worry a little bit of him trying to think that he is going to strike with this guy Wonderboy because he is capable with the hands. He's not an all-in wrestler or grappler, because if you watch him when he strikes and the way that he leaves exchanges, it's straight back. And against a guy like Wonderboy, when he blitzes in, he is straight fucking forward, and he can close that distance very, very quickly. And he is still pretty quick and still pretty powerful with his shots. So if Gabriel Bonfim is fucking around, gets a little bit lazy with the footwork, and is coming straight back on that center line, oh no, Wonderboy can still fucking put people out. But he does have the wrestling advantage. He should be able to get the takedown. I played him by sub just because I don't mind it. I don't like the minus 350. I don't like him in parlays. I don't like him. I just played it by sub, and I can't remember what it was, but it's fucking. I'll take that value over anything else and just kind of see what happens. So he's gonna be my pick.
No, listen, I get it, and I've seen a lot of comments here talking about Wonderboy fighting with each other, talking about Wonderboy's takedown defense and all that stuff. It's not good. Wonderboy's takedown defense is not good. I get he's fighting.
And he doesn't. And Gabriel Bonfim's not a guy that needs you to get you on the ground and then fucking he'll just grab you and then climb your back or fucking make you panic into whatever or jump over and grab it for the guillotine. He's really good at that. He's one of those guys who can just kind of climb on you. Anyway, premium members, I got the submission plus 175. It's down to 130 now. So.
Well, and 16 of his 17 wins are by stoppage. So he's a guy that has power in his hands. We keep mentioning the wrestling, but it's not – he could potentially win a striking matchup. Steven Thompson is just a frustrating striker. And the problem is I love Wonderboy. It's very hard to root against Wonderboy. But we just watched him get flatlined. He's 42 years old, and he was beating Joaquin Buckley. And then Joaquin landed that shot late, heavy, fast, and he put him out bad. That's the unfortunate reality. It's the beginning of the end in this space. Gabriel Bonfim should get it done. $9,300 in DraftKings Fantasy. If you think he gets that sub or finds that finish standing, that is worth the money.
And that fight that he lost, too, against, what's his name, the Dutchman or whatever,
Yeah,
he honestly showed some pretty good tenacity in that because he was getting swarmed, and he was back against the fence, throwing back, trying to throw counters or get takedowns and stuff for a good, 2 or 3 minutes before ultimately he found that knee. So another situation where, yeah, he ended up losing that, but you saw that he's not exactly like a quitter in that type of situation. So,
and it might be the best thing that ever happened to his career. We've seen plenty of fighters get finished in fights like that, a little too cocky on too good of a streak, lose a fight, and then start another one. If you do want to check out every single pick, every single bet, every single tool, howdy doody, WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. You'll unlock all of it instantly. You want to get ahead of the UFC 318 research? We already have some bets up. We have the tools ready to go. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. $5 super chat from Rob's FinTech. Who let Wild Wild West Humpty Dumpty on the show? Who are they talking about? Or who's Rob's talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Rob. Yosemite. I'm going to make a joke about myself because I'm funny. He said Yosemite Sam. It's just say Yosemite Ham. That's funny. That's funny. If somebody else in the comments said that, you would have laughed at it. Yosemite Ham is funny because ham comes from pigs, and pigs are fat. And I am a cowboy right now, like Yosemite Sam is. So Yosemite Ham is like I'm a cowboy, but I'm fat like a pig. Great joke. And I explained it for the dummies. Next up at UFC Nashville, we have the main event of the evening. We have Derek Lewis taking on Taliesin Teixeira. Derek Lewis, the all-time knockout king. Derek Lewis, 2-3 in his last 5, took a full year off, but here he is main eventing his card in Nashville, taking on Taliesin Teixeira. Very young in his career, but he is undefeated with all finished wins. I don't need to break down Derek Lewis. We all know who he is at this point in his career. He's a guy that has incredible power. He can knock you out with one punch in the beginning of the fight or the end of the fight. He was losing all 3 rounds to Volkov, just bang, one punch, got it done. He's a guy that just invented standing up because jiu-jitsu is not real. Derek Lewis is all the things you want in a highlight, but not the things you want inside the cage, because the reality is Derek Lewis fights are boring as shit until he lands that big punch. He's taking on Taliesin Teixeira, undefeated, 8-0, very young in his career, but he's a physical specimen. This dude is absolutely tremendous. He's got great hands, good footwork, good power, good aggression. Problem is, he doesn't have a good record. Yes, he's 8-0, he's undefeated, but if you run through his record and who he's beaten, none of them are any good until his last fight, which was his first ever UFC win. And that's what makes this a little tricky. Taliesin Teixeira is running through people, but he's running through people he should be running through. It's like if I go beat up the shit out of a 6-year-old, I should have done. I should have beat the shit out of this 6-year-old.
Why are you meeting up with 6-year-olds?
Because they're fucking assholes, Jacob. They're mean.
You're meeting up with 6-year-olds for their assholes?
They're mean. They're aggressive. They just say nasty things about people. They're the worst. So if I smack one around and you tape it, it's like, wow, Angelo's a good fighter. But then you give me a 20-year-old, I might get fucked up. And that's what we got going on with Taliesin here. He's beating up people whose records are quite literally, this is actually somebody's record, 4-16. When Taliesin Teixeira beat them, they were 4-16. And now this is the guy who's minus 260. This is the guy. Taliesin should win. He's a physical specimen. He's fast. He hits hard. He's young. He's up and coming. Derek Lewis literally just sits there doing nothing, waiting to land a big punch. So I'm going to pick Taliesin Teixeira. I can't bet. I can't bet on him. I can't do it. I haven't seen enough. Derek Lewis is still the all-time knockout king. We're just going to all jump on this 8-0 guy who has, if you do the total combined record of his opponents, it fucking sucks. Can't do it. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I'm going to take Taliesin, but I don't have a lot of confidence in this guy. I would urge everyone. I see the comments right now in the chat talking about, I have Taliesin in the parlay. I have him in this parlay. I have him in that parlay. He's going to fuck up Derek Lewis. Please go watch his Contender Series fight and watch how many times this guy gets fucking hit. I mean, with right hands, with left hands, with this, with that. I mean, he uses his height the way you should not use your height. And that's just kind of doing this stuff. Just fucking, he's still getting hit by people who don't have the power of Derek Lewis. I know some people too are worried about, is this going to be a staring contest? Is this going to be a whatever? The youth, undefeated record and bravado of a guy like Taliesin Teixeira matched with probably the last main event that Derek Lewis is going to get, I would have to imagine. And I think he probably knows it as well. It feels like this is probably going to be fireworks. Taliesin's not going to respect this guy. I'm 8-0. I'm knocking everybody out. I'm just going to knock this guy out, make a name for himself. And Derek Lewis obviously has the power to knock out anybody, especially guys hittable as Taliesin. So I'm looking at that minus 260, minus 270 now on Bet Online. Fuck that. I played the under 1.5. It's minus 210. I'll take either fighter in 7.5 minutes to fucking hit the canvas and not even have to worry about it. I'm taking Taliesin because he's fucking taller, I guess, but I'm not going to be surprised if Derek Lewis lands one of those shots and fucking sleeps this kid. But I think I think that this is one of those not stare at each other things. I think Taliesin is his youth and bravado and undefeated record. You don't really, almost ignorance is bliss type of thing. You don't really fear anything until you know what the fear is, and he's never really felt that fear yet in the octagon. He thinks he's untouchable. He's going to come in there, and we'll see if he is or not. But I'm taking Taliesin.
Here, Pork did the work. Taliesin's opponent's combined record is 29-39.
You could do that for anybody that's coming off of regionals.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying Taliesin's a bum. I picked Taliesin. I'm just saying it's hard to take that body of work beating the shit out of nobodies and then immediately being like, this guy's the thing. That's what makes this tricky. And people keep commenting Derek Lewis is 40. Heavyweights have a very longer. Heavyweights have a much different.
When all you do is stand flat-footed and just wing right hands or whatever.
I
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Taliesin knows how to grapple too, and I know Derek has had his issues with the grappling in the past, but also try to work for his own takedown. He's got like interesting little trips and stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised if Taliesin comes in because he tried to shoot a takedown on Tafa, I think, immediately, if I remember right. It was kind of obviously when you're that tall, it's hard to really change levels like that. So maybe we get a situation where he comes in, wants to settle Derek Lewis down, shoots a takedown, and Derek Lewis lands in all one of those fucking flying switch knees or something like that.
That was crazy.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Nascimento, I think that was.
Yeah, because I think I was against Derek Lewis in that one. I was just like,
what
the fuck just happened?
Yeah, looked athletic, busy. Derek Lewis is a low volume guy. You're going under 1.5. All power to you. I am a little worried that Taliesin is just going to stare at him, and Derek Lewis will quite literally just stare at you. Like, he won't come like Derek Lewis doesn't run at people. But to your point, main event could be his last main event. It's actually his first main event in a very long time. Derek Lewis isn't like a huge main event guy here, so this is a huge praise and love for that guy. So
this feels like it's probably his last fight.
It could be. I mean, it absolutely could be. This is going to be it should be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. Derek Lewis fights, like I said, they're kind of boring until they're not, but then they're not, right? Then you get an unbelievable post-fight speech. You get an unbelievable knockout on one side or the other. So I'm looking forward to this fight. Should be a fun main event. This should be a really fun card. A lot of people hating on this card. I don't fully understand it because this is a decent.
Good matchups. There's good matchups.
Yeah, this is a decent.
Not a ton of names, but there should be. I mean, even the girl fights should be. I mean, girl fights are fun almost when they're not competitive. Like when they're competitive, it gets a little stale, a little bit boring or whatever. It's better to have the big favorites for the girl fights, very high-level fighters. Chris Kerr should bounce back. The Chidi fight should be great. The Valter fight is kind of a wild card too. Mike Davis fight should be fun. You got the main event is just a little bit wild. Steve Garcia is always wild. Nate Landwehr.
It's a good card. I don't know why people are hating on it because
really only the Tuco and Junior Tafa fight where it's like, but even that's kind of a fucking, you never know what's gonna happen.
Could be exciting, yeah. So. No, we're in the unfortunate era of UFC where it's fun to complain about how bad cards are. The next narrative is UFC 318 sucks. UFC 318 does not suck. UFC 318 is also a decent card. This is a good card. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to check out every pick, bet, and tool, go to WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member.
What's going to be better, this card or the card that we just had this Saturday night?
Exactly. I actually said that to like 20 different people. It's like, you want fucking nothing? Because that's the other choice. Like, your choice is a little bit watered down because there's one almost every weekend or nothing. Like, what do you want? You want a mega card once every
honestly, they're getting to a point now. You see, I mean, they have so many prospects. Like, MMA is still such in like an infancy stage. Like, you're just now getting the people in their 20s that have been training kind of their whole lives rather than kind of the old UFC where people like started training in their 20s and stuff. And it was like kind of the older champions and stuff. So now you're almost getting that whole talent pool to be able to really fill up all these weekly cards. So they should just get better and better as the years go by.
I'm looking to this card, looking forward to this card. I hope you are too. If you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool.
I should be streaming too, I think.
I'll be home if you want to hang out. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. We do have a super chat. Crips Keeper says, kidding, Ange. That head is not small. It's either a big head or too close to the camera. It's the camera. It fits.
Why do you have breasts now?
No.
Now turn towards the light. Oh boy. Those are C cups, or what do we think?
Nah, it's a good B.5. Listen, guys, if we go to the website, there's a ton of cool shit on there, including access from an app. We have an app. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. The app is 100% free. You can unlock every single thing inside the app, all the picks, all the bets, all the tools, and push notifications. I sent one out yesterday saying Jacob placed a shit ton of prop bets, which he did. Jacob put so many prop bets on the board. You got the notification through the app.
I've got fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 future bets too, totaling 8 units in future bets.
There we go. 8 units in future bets. It's not just this card. And it's not just the bets that are built for the future. The fight simulator is as well. This is a tool that simulates fights 100,000 times. It gives you the outputs of the fight and what happens along the way. How many strikes, how many takedowns. You can use that information to find prop bets on your favorite sportsbook. And we enhanced it. Now will build FanDuel fantasy lineups. We have a tape index. If you like to do your own tape study, watch the fights with your own eyes and do all that, we've got it all lined up for you, ready to go. Not just for this card, but for the future as well. UFC 318, UFC Abu Dhabi. You want to get ahead of the tape study. You want to watch those fights, do your notes, find your bets. Tape study is built out for the future. The optimizer will build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you. We built the first ever, the industry first beginner mode, where it's just going to ask you a series of normal questions. Instead of expecting you to know the numbers, it'll say, who are your most confident favorites? Who are your confident underdogs? You answer those questions, it'll build the lineups for you. It now does that for FanDuel. Jacob, ask me if we raise the price.
What would your walkout song be?
We did not raise the price. It is still only $10 an entire month. My walkout song will be Whopper, 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 Mana, 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 Whopper. We have a tool called the Data Analyzer. This has every fighter on every card, future and current, and it'll line up that fighter with their opponent, all their stats. You can then filter those stats, deep dive. We have a line movement tracker, give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, line movement for every fighter on every card. We have the Prop Hunter, curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. And we have more than just myself and Jacob. We got Bet Sam on this insane. I don't have the official stats, but this dude hits his slam of the week, which is one single bet at like 90%. We have the Pick GPT, which is artificial intelligence. We have Artem picking regional fight cards like a Rain Man. All of this available right now. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's only $10 and I have the piece so bad. Any last words from you, Jacob?
I think mine would be maybe a Pretty Ricky song, but probably one of my favorite songs of all time is Presidential by Youngbloods.
How's that go?
Oh, wow. Big wheel. Big wheel. Job.
Great song. Guys, thanks for the watch. I appreciate every last one of you. Sorry if the audio is a little weird and I'm on a ranch, baby, and I'm living that ranch life. Thank you for being here. We're going to do all the things the rest of this week as we normally do.
Milk those tits after you get done taking a piss.
I got to get all the fluids out of my body. 1001.